Oye, vato, es lo mejor de Ron y Fez.
All right, this came up, Fez. I got an email over the weekend. It was sent to us at ronandfez@AOL.com. If you ever want to reach us, it's ronandfez@AOL.com. The end, of course, is AND. Now, this one came in, and I read it, and I thought I'd save it for you for during the show.
All right, now this email, the postman's been here already?
Postman. No, Fez, this came through on the computer. Email.
How do they put it in the computer?
You know, I know that you're not up
You
with...
cram a letter in the hard drive? What happens
It's
there?
not like that. It's electronic, Fez. You and I are the first show ever to use electronic mail, or email, as I call it. And my belief is this. In the future, this is how all mail will be sent, from one computer to another. Listen to this, would you please?
And now, Ron and Fez, the show of the future, brings you...
Electronic mail. Mail sent electronically.
Oh, now I get it.
Electronic mail. By the way, take care of Greg on 2. He's sitting there waiting for you, Harry. All right, here's the email. This comes from Jared Fez. And it said, Ron and Fez, how many 9-year-olds could you beat up in a ring? Now, all the kids are normal, non-retarded, just normal. How many 9-year-olds?
All right, just average American 9-year-olds. I think 3.
You are kidding me.
3 I could take out.
You can only beat up 3 9-year-old?
Yeah, I think that's a lot.
And by the time the 4th came in, you would be, what, you overpowered?
Oh, my arms would be down by my sides at that point. I'd be so blown up, there's no way.
3 is 3 punches. So that's over quickly. First 9-year-old comes out, bam, he's down. And then the other one's looking around like, wow, what the fuck? As I get in the ring, I know I'm getting knocked out. So even if I know I'm not going to knock the kid out, the kid ain't going to want to fight after I hit him again. And I'm not bragging about, you know, I'm not saying how many adults I could beat, but there will be a pile of 9-year-olds I'll be knocking out. A pile of them.
A pile of them? No, 3, I would be in a whirling dervish at that point.
Yes.
They're coming at me from 3 different directions. My head doesn't even spin.
I'll beat those kids up like they were the crazy 88s. I'll just be bam, bam. It's one punch a kid. A 9-year-old can't take 2 punches from a full-grown man. I'm going to say I'm going to come closer to 1,000 of them.
1,000?
Yeah.
There is no way you would be totally overwhelmed by 1,000.
How could you be?
Anyone would be.
How are they going to take you down?
Just by the sheer numbers of them. You get 1 on your back, you get a couple hanging onto your legs, and
bam, bam, they're going down. You're kicking, you're punching. And also, this is set up like he says in a ring. I don't know whether it's the full reign of 1,000, like you're talking about, or is it one at a time? Because at what chance you get to have 1,000 people in a ring?
It's got to be a big ring.
You know it's coming one at a time. You're coming in like that, crazy 88 style. I don't see it as being a big deal. Earl, how many?
I'll be very conservative, 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
That's twice me.
I'm being very conservative, though.
I never want to get into a scrap with you guys. I never want to be in a situation where I got like Earl and Fez have my back.
Well, not with 9-year-olds.
I mean, like, what, all at once, or a time limit, or I'm not really sure how many.
Well, Earl, you know as you hit one 9-year-old, it's over, right?
Yeah, nice swift kick in the stomach. It's
and
all
yes,
over.
that ends it. So you know you could do that more 6 or 7 times.
Again, I'm being very, very
I see Master Poe. Let's bring Master Poe in, because this is an interesting thing, and we should have somebody who understands the martial arts to help us out here.
Well, this will add a scientific view to it.
Yeah, and we know this is going to be the high end. All right, Master Poe, you're in a ring. They're sending 9-year-olds at you, one after another. How many before you finally go, I can't take it anymore, and you surrender to them? How many could you beat?
9-year-olds?
Yeah.
You want me to hit a 9-year-old?
Yeah.
They're not retarded or anything. They're just normal 9-year-olds.
If they're retarded, I'll take maybe 1 or 2 tops, because they have superhuman strength.
Well, 50 will go down.
50 will go down easy. I think it's even more than that. I think you're going to go way higher than that.
There's no way I would get close to double digits. It's not happening.
What is wrong with you? You have the ability to punch, right?
I have the ability to punch, but I know my wind. I know I'm not going to outlast more than 3.
You're going to have 4 that will attack your right leg, 4 will attack your left leg. And the other ones will jump on your neck.
Yeah, but I don't...
You in the,
yeah, my neck is snapped. Great, thanks.
And the light bulb.
Hold on. I don't know how organized they are. I don't know if they put this together in some kind of an art of war thing. 9-year-olds have... definite ADD situations where they can't follow along. And I'm saying this, as soon as you bust the face of the first 9-year-old, you don't think the other ones are going to be freaked out? When I was 9, this was a sound of alarm for me and my friends. Teenager. If you heard one of your friends yell the term teenager, if there was 8 of you, you would run because you would be petrified of them. I see fear with 9-year-olds.
Yeah, that's true. You'll have about 20 or 30 of them will run away.
Yes.
As soon as you do that, if you punch someone in the face, 30 will run.
I know we've got to be talking hundreds. I honestly believe hundreds. I think it's going to be like if a fox ran into the chicken coop. I think it's going to be the same type of situation. The lion around the zebras.
See, I just see the chicken still coming at me.
Have you ever heard, hey, did you hear about that fox that got killed by 30 chickens? They could probably do it, Fez, except for they don't believe it. Hey, Richard, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, calling from Las Vegas. I don't know if I'm your first caller from Vegas or not, but I love the new show.
Thank you very much, buddy.
And I think, Ron, I think you're overestimating this, and Fez is going a little under. I'm 6'7", 230 pounds.
From Grenoble, France.
I figure, what's that?
Go ahead.
I figure I can take on 25 or 30 9-year-olds at the most, because if you ever seen a 9-year-old get pissed and you get 3 or 4 of them attached to each leg and they happen to bring you down.
All right, let's suppose they grab your legs like Master Pose and you just start bringing a hammer down on their heads. They're going to let go. A 9-year-old has never really... You know, a lot of times when you're 9, you don't even want to punch in the face or get punched in the face. And I'm talking about showing these kids and just lighting them up and breaking a jaw.
9-year-olds in the nose, in the face, they're probably going to go running off to mommy. So you can,
right.
But tell you, 25 or 30 of them jump on your back and clamp around your legs. They might be able to bring you down and do some damage.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Pete here. Pete, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good.
Look, you're talking about the 9-year-olds. Think of it like this. You're dealing with white, let's say white 9-year-olds. Ronnie, you could probably take out a bunch, like you said, right? You're talking about blacks and Hispanics. They got knives and guns, maybe one tops.
Well, first of all, there's no weapons involved here. And here's what you have to understand. I was thinking white 9-year-olds. I wasn't thinking of any street smart kids who could really handle themselves. And I'm also not going girls because they're much bigger.
Oh, yeah, girls at that age. They've had a few periods under their belts.
Oh, God, why be gross, Fez? Why talk such a way?
And they're just like steroid calves.
One of the things you have to remember also, one of the kids are going to kick you in the shin. And once they kick you in the shin, now you're going to start hopping up and down.
Here's the thing, Master Poe. The kid who kicks me in the shin is getting fucked up. He's getting it 3 times. Because I'm going to blast that kid making an example out of him. And I'm not shutting up. I'm yelling, this is what you get. And I'm throwing elbows, I'm throwing knees. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, you're gonna see some kids getting shattered. You're gonna see some kids getting shattered out there. And I don't think the rest of them are gonna want any part of this. I would love to do this TV show. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how are you supposed to beat up a bunch of kids if you got such a hard boner?
Oh, you know what? You're the sickest bastard in the world. That's the sickest bastard in the world. Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Are we talking a 9-year-old battle royal here?
Well, this is the interesting thing, because Jarrett really hasn't put this together too well. He says, how many 9-year-olds could you beat up in a ring? All kids are normal, non-retarded, just normal. So I'm sure people bring up, hey, retarded all the time to this guy.
That's got to be the first question.
And that's how he leaves it, in a ring. So I'm thinking almost Crazy 88 style, where they're coming over one at a time, not coming over 100 at a time.
See, I picture them all coming at you at once.
But again, you understand, Fezzy, what a Royal Rumble is at. They're coming in one at a time, but if you can't get the kid out of the ring, they're staying in there.
Ron, what are you going to do, though, when one of them gives you the slick Rick uppercut to the nads?
I'm going to kill that kid, and I'm going to tell you the truth, and I don't know whether this is in there, but I'll snap a neck on one of those 9-year-olds. And when the other ones see what a dead child looks like, I think it's going to throw a fear through that group. I think the fear is going to be rushing up and down their spines.
See, I take a NAD shot, I'm down in the corner. And I'm just defenseless at that point. I can't take NAD pain.
You better start and believe in yourself, Fezzy. You need a little more confidence. You need a little more confidence in yourself. Hey, Eric, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
How you doing, Ron? Hey, Fez.
Yeah.
Welcome back, first off.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe 15, 20 kids. Maybe give them the old Stone Cold Stunner, or maybe page Dr. Martin, get a steel toe boot and do the Opie, kick them right in the liver.
I mean, if you're going to look into that, yeah, I'm kicking some of these kids, and I'm kicking them hard. And I guarantee you, once I kick them once, they're not going to want a second one. And I'll open up one of them with just the cocoa butt, Fezzy, where I'll just take my head and burst open one of his little 9-year-old nose. And when the blood is flying, the other kids are going to be freaking out.
Well, I have to tell you that if you ever trained before and you're in a ring for 3 minutes, it's more difficult than you think.
It's exhausting. Good point. But we are talking about 9-year-olds. It's not like they're in great shape or can even get in great shape.
Well, you still have to punch and kick, and that takes a lot out of you.
Have you thought of this, Bo? You grab one of them by the ankles and you just start swinging them around, using his skull as a weapon?
See, now, if I use that move, it would have to work instantly. That would be my one-shot deal, because by the time I lift a 9-year-old up into the air, I'm done there. I'm spent.
You know, after hearing your confidence in yourself, Fezzy, I'm going to say you lose to the first one. What I'm going to think of right now is how many Fez Watleys can beat up a 9-year-old, and I'm going to 8. I think I'm going to have to clone you 8 times.
I'm sure I could take one.
Now, if it was how many 9-year-olds can you rape, that I know you have experience in. Here is Carl. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys, you're forgetting about collateral damage. While you're fighting one, you can holler out things that hurt the feelings of the others.
Right, fatty, you're next.
Your
Stuff like that.
Don't love
hey,
you,
Four Eyes, you want a piece of this?
Yeah, then their eyes are clouded with tears. You right in the nose.
Yeah, because they freak out at that age.
Oh yeah, Santini. I'm interesting.
Yeah. The whole thing is going to be a Santini. And that's what I'm saying too, Fez. When they start to see what happens, a lot of them rolling in a corner. It's like you don't think me and my friends could have beat up one of our older brothers? But when one of our older brothers jumped in the middle of us, the rest of us were cowering in the corners. Because you're so scared at that age.
See, I think if a couple of them got on my arms and legs, then I'm not moving.
No, it's not you. You're going to lose to one. We know that now. We believe you. What I'm saying is an average man. How many could an average man take?
I would say 5.
All right, let's say
3 for me, 5 for the average guy.
What about Mike Tyson in his prime? 89 Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, I would say, could take a dozen. That's as far as I'll go with Mike Tyson.
Then I wouldn't watch boxing. I would not watch boxing if I thought to myself, oh, here's the toughest guy in the world. And yet, a baker's dozen of 9-year-olds could kick the shit out of him. That would be it for me. I'd throw my TV out. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
What I want to know is, how many kids could Master Po take if they were trained by Master Po?
All right, there's a good question. If you train these 9-year-olds.
How sad your students turn on you.
It happens.
Yeah.
See, now the stakes are higher, because my kids are going to...
Now the student is the master.
Well, you know, we did hear normal kids. There was no training. There's no weapons. I'm going to throw this in and just say white kids, so we know they can't fight.
That makes sense. That sounds average.
What do you mean average?
Just average. Just middle America average.
Don't get racist about it. I'm just trying to set up a thing, not for you pick what normal is. I'm sorry, Earl, that you had to hear that. Hey, Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. First-time caller, part-time lover. I'm 28, and I've got a 9-year-old little brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, when we're out roughhousing outside back, and he's got his little friends, and we're just playing, the first time one kid takes like an elbow or something, and they they get the wind knocked out of them. The rest of them all just get big-eyed and back off a little.
They're petrified, yeah.
They are scared. And plus, you're trying to take it easy on them because you don't want them going crying to mom anyways.
But what if you could have your dream, Roger, and you just unleash, and you just start busting some bones?
That's a dream?
Cracking them.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream. If they're coming one by one,
yeah,
there's going to be a pile.
Yeah, there's going to, it's only going to be your own exhaustion, and Master Poe pointed this out. It's only going to be your limit, your own cardiovascular shape that's going to make this a fight. I certainly don't see you losing a fight to almost an infinite amount of 9-year-olds.
I totally, if it's my win, then I'm completely shit out of luck.
Yeah. Well, we said we're taking you out of this, Fez. We're going to put a normal adult end to this. We understand now your limitations. I didn't believe before the show started. Now you've convinced me that you are right. You might be able to take 1.5. And even then, I think it would go as far as a draw. Here is Ben. Ben, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What do you got for us?
I know we're talking about white kids, but if they're black, I mean, no matter how many come in, I mean, if you throw like a basketball or maybe a watermelon in the ring,
all right,
they might.
You know what? That's racism. I just want no part of it.
White people are so scared of black people.
One day when Fez does the show by himself, you guys can sit around and do that kind of southern humor. But it's not going to get it with me, Fez.
I don't know if you're allowed to use distractions like that.
White people are so scared of black people.
It wouldn't distract them. And you won't need distractions. This is an adult American male against how many 9-year-olds? I don't see it being much of a problem at all. Here's Scott. Scott, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
No, pretty good. You?
Cool in the gang.
You know, I think it's absolutely great that you got a martial arts expert in there that's trained in taking out, you know, full-grown men that are trained to do the same thing.
Right.
And he's talking about slinging around 9-year-old children.
And not only that, but if you saw the smile on Master Poe's face while he was talking about this, and I'll go so far as to say the erect nipples, and I said to myself, this is not the first time he's had this conversation.
It makes you wonder if he's done it before.
Now, Scott, are you trained? Scott, do you have any training in your background?
I just did a little boxing here and there, but I do have to agree with Master Poe. 3 minutes in a ring is a long-ass time.
Well, you know, going even 3 minutes with a bag, if you're not in really great shape, is exhausting. But I think the adrenaline of knowing that you're crushing children's bones is going to keep you going. That'll keep the excitement level up. That's going to make it happen for you.
You know, one thing that's going to make it even harder is that you have to reach down towards the child.
Interesting. I didn't think of that.
You're not striking straight in front of you. You have to reach down for them.
Right.
If you go down on your knees to start throwing punches at that level...
I know you've gone down on your knees, but it wasn't to start throwing punches. And that's with 9-year-olds.
It's going to be hard to get back up.
Yeah. Because you're what? Satisfied?
No, once you're down there...
I never understand. I don't know the whole gay thing. What do you mean?
I mean that if you stoop down to their level, it's going to be hard.
Oh, I'm not going down to their level, that's for sure.
It's going to be hard to get back up on your feet if they're still coming at you.
Yeah, what if you're just sitting in a lounge chair and you're running them through?
There's no way. They'll tip the chair over with me in it.
Do you think you can even knock out a 9-year-old? Do you feel confident that with your hand, one punch, you can knock out a 9-year-old?
Yes, I could do that.
I don't think you can. Then you know you could do it 3 times. If you could do it once, you could do it 3 times.
I'm going by the 3-minute rule here. That's 3. If you're bringing in a kid every 1 minute, and by the 4th kid, I am just stuck and win.
A 3 kid, if they're coming in 1 a minute,
yes,
then I'm going to go on all day long. Then I don't have the slightest problem because it's going to be bam. I crush his little skull. And I sit down and smoke a cigar for another 55 seconds. The next one's coming in. Bam, I put the cigar out on him.
Ouch.
I laugh, and I'm pointing at the other kids. Who's next, Chubby? Is it you? Is it the fat kid? Freckle face? Who's part of this? And these kids are going to be pissing themselves with fear. The fear factors, you got to get in their kitchen, Fez. You got to stay there. That's where this war is going to be won or lost. In their 9-year-old minds.
I also don't want to slip in any of their piss.
Yeah. Here is Sean. Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Number 4824.
All right, buddy. How you doing there?
Real quick, can we give these kids headgear or
No,
you know,
there's
I mean,
no
we're
headgear.
Kicking the crap out of them.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, this is the thing that's going to happen for you. And Master Paul, I know you've been through this before because of your training. You got to think to yourself, I might be killing this guy with this shot. I might be killing this 9-year-old. And I personally have already known I can deal with that. I'm fine with that part of it.
Well, you're going to be beating them up pretty good. You might at least give them some kind of protection from getting their butt.
No, I'm not going to throw out protection here. Because I don't need headgear. Why do they get it? There's an infinite amount of them. I think I could beat up every kid in the state of Delaware. I'm not going to go through a larger state, but if you took a state the size of Delaware, and what are you at there, third graders?
Right, yeah.
And you bring them all in, and you line them up, bring them in by buses, and then we get the black kids out. I'm not fighting anybody from Wilmington. I'm gonna fight the kids from Claymont, maybe Bethany Beach, lower Delaware, if I have to. I think I'm just going to keep knocking them out one after another.
They're all lined up like they're going to see Santa.
Here's Lou. Lou, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, boys? 26078.
Way to go, old school.
Yeah, listen, all you got to do is open slap these kids. You don't got to punch them.
Right.
Just open hand slap. None of these kids have ever been beat up they never get a good beating by their father.
Right.
You know, they're just like, they're marshmallows.
And nothing hurts more than getting hit in the face.
That's it.
You know,
a good hand slap.
Most of the time, and I'll check with you, Mr. Poe, let's say in a bar fight, you hit a man right square in the nose, he doesn't want to fight anymore, right? It's over for him.
Correct.
Because it hurts. And I don't care what kind of shape you're in, that hurts. Well, with a 9-year-old, this is going to be the worst pain he's ever had in his life. So one punch, Fezzy, ends him.
Well, that's one of the things that I wanted to discuss.
Please, go ahead.
If you've never punched anyone before, your first punch, you're over. You're done. Because you really don't know how to position your fist.
Right.
And if your wrist is just bent down a little, then you're going to break your wrist. However, what this gentleman just said, use your palm.
Right.
Absolutely. You could palm heel, slap.
All right,
yeah,
good.
I break my wrist. What do I do with the other two?
And what do you do for a date? The other two what? Wrists?
The other two 9-year-olds.
Oh, I had no idea where you were going with that. I thought you had 3 wrists. So good points. This is going to be helpful, everybody. Write some of this stuff down that Master Poe was saying. You may want to look into more kicking and just palm shots.
Kicking?
And I'm saying, I know you're saying, you're not going to, you kick a kid in the throat, a 9-year-old in the throat. It's going to end it.
I got to get my leg up that high.
Kick him in the stomach if you need to, Fez. Kick him in the stomach. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez. Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going, Ron and Fez?
Good.
Master Poe? It's a pleasure.
How you doing?
Hey, I have a 9-year-old, man, and he's like 4'7" or 8, 75 pounds. And, man, you multiply him by about 10, and you got a problem, man, because this kid, he's tough. He rides his bike all the time. These kids are in shape, man. You got to be careful.
Well, maybe your kid is. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, okay, so you're out there in the desert, the kids riding around. Okay, I'm talking about a lot of these little suburban kids, these little fat asses, and most of them are gonna blow up by the time they even get into the ring.
Is that the average size of a 9-year-old, like 75 pounds?
I'm gonna say picture Fez as a 9-year-old, and you'll see what you're looking at. We're not fighting that little Tarzan kid who was on the news a while ago.
Yeah, some of these, my kids that are training, 9 years old, they can do 100 jumping jacks, 50 push-ups. So if we're talking unskilled, then I could see it.
We're going unskilled. I'm not going against your trained killers. That army that you've set up of just little ninjas, scary little ninjas throwing Chinese stars at people. And you also train them to steal? How does that work out? How's that? He's like Fagin down there, Fez.
No one hears these ninja kids coming in the buildings.
No. Those kids are frightening. Steve, Big Steve, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys, great show.
Yeah, it is.
I'm wondering...
Sure, when you're talking about intellectual stuff like this, you are going to have a good show.
How many times can you punch these bony heads and flailing arms before, your skin just gives out and you start bleeding or the pain gets to you?
All right, well, hypothetically now that this actually happens...
it's happening.
It's going to. I've already talked to the folks at XM. We're going to do this experiment.
If you execute, like, let's say a vertical punch,
right,
and you do a series of vertical punches, you can pop out 50 punches in 5 seconds. So that's 50 kids. And depending on
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, depending on your training, if you're comfortable with hitting things, then it wouldn't bother you. You don't feel the pain.
Right.
Especially if you're punching correctly. As soon as you make a mistake, then you're in trouble. Because you're going to break your knuckle or you're going to break your wrist or something's going to throw you off. So you would have to use a straight line attack, not just a jab. If they're coming at you all at once, then make sure you use a vertical punch and you constantly throw those punches like a flurry of punches.
Interesting. I'm probably also going to wrap a belt around my fist, too, Fez.
Well, if you wear it into the ring, I think you're allowed to use it, right? It's pretty much anything goes.
Here is, here's Jared. Here's the gentleman who wrote the email. Jared, interesting point you came up with today. How are you, buddy?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Yeah. How about for you, Jared? You're the one who... Did you come up with this idea, or did you hear it somewhere?
No, this is a discussion that me and my retarded friends talk about.
This is what I call pot talk. After 2 joints, you get into that, hey, how many 9-year-olds do you think you could beat up talk?
Pretty much.
Yeah. How many for you?
I estimated somewhere between 50 and 75.
Yeah.
But I have a friend, John, who came up with the number infinitive. So, just endless, countless.
Well, that can't work out because sooner or later you're going to die from old age. So, we can't have infinity.
Waiting for 8-year-olds to turn 9
or
so they can get in on this.
At some point you're going to need sleep, whatever.
Just a quick point to clarify. It is all a group at once, not old school Royal Rumble style.
They're all running at you at once.
Right, exactly.
All right, now that makes it a little more difficult.
Right.
Because, that's like a sea of ants.
Yeah. And I've succumbed to them.
So it's a line of kids directly in front of you, and they're coming at you one at a time.
Exactly, all in front of you.
One at a time.
Exactly.
Nobody behind you.
No, I mean they're all around you. So
you're surrounded.
Exactly.
Oh, you're surrounded?
Exactly.
Oh no, that changes the formula.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me ask you this: can I use a sickle?
You can do whatever you want.
What?
I'm going to have a sickle, and I'll just be swinging that around.
Wait till you hear the ring announcer scream he's got a sickle.
Look, if they're coming at me all at the same time, they want to fight fair, we'll fight fair. If not, I'm grabbing a sickle, and I'm lopping some kids' heads off.
The best idea you came up with was you set the tone with the first one, and then you said, you want a piece of this next? You want some of this? And then you set the tone like that.
You keep up the verbal barrage as long as you've got the wind to talk.
Oh, exactly.
Sure. All right. I like that. I like the fact that you're going to have some fear into them. It's an interesting thing. How many 9-year-olds could you beat up? Now, on the other hand, if it was girls, it would be scarier because when my kid was like in 3rd grade, the difference between a third grade girl and a boy is unbelievable. A boy in 3rd grade, he weighs about 60 pounds, right? Maybe even a little smaller. Girls are going about $125. They've got a good 2 feet on them. They've got gigantic breasts, and they're just like this. I am so in love with your son. And you're just like, hey, seriously, stay away from him. You're fucking frightening. I'd rather he slept with a teacher.
A 3rd grade girl, every bit of them is thick. It's big, broad shoulders.
I don't know.
It's thick forearms, thighs, calves.
I don't know why there's become this discrepancy between the way little girls grow and little boys grow. When I was younger, it was like an inch or two. They were like an inch or two taller than us till we hit like 5th or 6th grade. Now they've got a good 1.5 feet, sometimes even 2 feet, and 100 pounds on the boys. If he never needs any help with schoolwork, I'd be glad to come over.
They have to put them in the back of the classroom or the boys won't be able to see the chalkboard from over their heads.
It's like 2 species. It's like Chihuahuas with St. Bernards. I don't know what happens with them. Someone says it's the steroids in chickens, but I don't know for a fact.
I don't know. You get a big 6-foot 3rd grade girl in there dropping a Hogan leg drop on you.
Yeah, we're not
That's
fighting.
Brutal.
We're not fighting girls. But that one will be how many you can have sex with. And I'm still going to go 50.
And still use the sickle.
I have to tell you, I have to tell you that women are more ruthless than men.
And what?
Well, a woman will jump and grab your hair and pull you down.
That's true.
They'll jump down on the ground and bite your ankle.
Right. They're vicious,
they'll
aren't
kick
they?
you in the they'll kick you in the groin.
Particularly if you're trying to steal their baby. Have you ever noticed that? If you try to steal a woman's baby, they will come at you with everything they have.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
What I'm going to tell you right now, even a sickle won't slow them down. I understand you're sitting in. How many 9-year-olds could you beat up? Seriously. And I want you to Be totally honest.
And they're bum rushing me now.
Oh, yeah,
changing
bum
the
rush.
rules a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if I even like that. I like one at a time.
One at a time, I'd say, 50 plus.
Right.
But as a bum rush, it's kind of chaotic. I'd go with sort of 15 to 20.
I'm going to tell you right now, too. The one, if they bum rush, they come at me that way, a couple of them are getting killed. I mean, before I was just knocking them out. But even if I have to smother a couple on my way down, I'm going to kill them. And I'm going to know that maybe I lost this fight to this 9-year-olds, but there's going to be some crying parents later.
Smother?
Yeah.
And how would you do that?
I mean, as they're piling on top of me, I'm going to put a couple underneath me
Okay.
and make sure I smother them. It has to happen. Derek, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, 19043.
That's old school. Way to go, buddy.
How about retarded kids with a mongoloid strength trained by Master Poe?
Well, first of all, they're going to have, super strength. On the other hand, Master Poe's not going to be able to train them.
Oh, okay.
All right? So, if you're fighting retarded kids, best thing to do there is to try to confuse them at first. My thing would be yell, hey, did you hear Scooby-Doo died? And get them upset about that. And so that they're completely disoriented.
That will at least get them so upset that their eyes are closed and they're looking down. They'll go windmill on you with their arms.
Then
at
it's
that
over,
point.
my friend, because I have been caught by them before, and I'll tell you this. They can catch you with a forearm. There's something about a retarded kid's forearm. It's more like an aluminum bat. And Master Poe, you would probably know more about this than me. Why are their forearms just so strong?
Everyone's forearm is. This
And
part
yet
of
they
your
use-
arm?
But we don't use it, I guess, right?
Exactly.
I think it's from coming out of the birth canal and someone trying to shove them back in while they're trying to be born. Just fighting with those forearms to
You
get
think
out.
so?
Yeah.
Do you think that's where it comes from?
Yeah.
The other thing about them is the speed is phenomenal because they walk on tippy toes. And I don't know, Master Poe, I know you work with kids. Could you do something where you force them onto their tippy toes like a retarded kid and then later let them run?
So you want this retarded kid to run on their toes?
Well, I'm saying, they're going to do that naturally.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
I want to do is somehow get a helmet on them at an early age and get them out on the field playing like an outside linebacker.
Oh, that's good.
Well, you'd have to start from the very beginning. I mean, if they are retarded...
Take them away from their mother at birth.
Okay. If they are retarded and you want them to train, then you train them on eye-hand coordination, balance, strength. You would give them all the tools necessary, and then later on, teach them the next level.
But how do you get them to focus? How do you get them not to freak out if you say, hey, you got that girl pregnant, now you have to marry her? And then that always confuses them.
Because they will.
I never had that problem.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
go running for the stand.
Well,
They'll
guess
leave the
what?
football field.
Now you're going to have to get married because she's pregnant. And
then it goes into, then it's not even words. It's
Yeah.
like a rabbit shriek when a rabbit gets hurt.
Yeah.
Then it's just like a...
Yeah, and when they're coming after you, I mean, the only thing you can do is start throwing candy behind your head, and hopefully they'll stop and get it, because they will run you down with that speed from walking on their toes. So when are you training these kids, Master Poe?
When am I starting to train
Yeah,
this?
when's that start? Master Poe's School of Retarded Self-Defense.
Yeah, that tippy-toe walking, that makes that Achilles tendon like a steel wire, steel coil.
Yeah.
And the calves just get built up super strong, too. And it's like having a kangaroo come at you.
You know, Fez and I have a dream of taking these kids, and I'm sure a lot of the parents don't want them. You take them at an early age. You train them for pro football. I mean, that's all they're thinking about. Get ball, get ball, get ball. The only problem is how we're going to get them through college. I guess go to a school like Alabama.
Yeah, something like that where no one's going to notice.
Fairly easy to get through.
Yeah, you just keep moving them.
Maybe some of those kids would win student athlete down there. Would be great. Here's Jerry. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm just thinking, wouldn't it be like putting Master Poe in a ring with him like Keanu Reeves in that movie The Matrix?
Yeah, Master Poe is really being humble today. I honestly think that he could take over 1,000.
Well, I don't know. In the beginning, I'm going to be thrown off because they are 9-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
You got that effect.
You
got to get your head
okay. We're in make believe land.
No, no, we'd probably be held in somewhere in the tri-state area.
I see.
And I really am going to try to set this up. I'm going to talk with Wiki about if we do this as a promotion.
I see. and they're not wearing anything.
Well, they're naked?
No.
What are you saying? I'm very confused. Now this
Now
is
give me 1,000.
Now this is Fez's make-believe land.
I didn't know this was Naked Ninja style.
No, they're not wearing any equipment.
No,
we discussed that. We know that. They don't have
A lot of their equipment isn't developed fully.
And I
yet.
almost see this more as a fight to the death. You know what I mean? I don't want any referees here because let's face it, right off the bat, these kids are cheating, not us.
If you're using, all right, hypothetically,
Yeah.
if you're using your entire body,
Right.
your fists, your elbows, your head, your knee, your feet,
right,
and your palms and whatever other techniques that you can.
And ass.
I'm sorry.
Don't put your ass on them.
You may have to sit on a couple.
If you sit on them, they'll jump on your head then.
Yeah, you be
So you
careful.
can't, you can't sit on them.
You be careful, Haystack, when you try that finishing move of yours.
If they get the horseshoe from around my neck, I'm in trouble.
All right, Chris has come up with an interesting idea. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy. It's great
Yeah.
to have you back.
It's great to be back.
I think the way to go actually would be ground fighting. Just choke these little bastards out. Maybe, break a couple arms with a couple arm bars. I think.
What do you think about that, Mr. Poe? You take him to the ground.
Well, as soon as you take one down to the ground, the other one's going to jump on your face, and then another one's going to grab your left leg, and they're going to pull you from every angle.
I'm digging
Plus jump in the air and stomp on your face.
I'm digging one of their eyeballs out with my thumb before I'm out of there. I swear to God I will. And then I'll show that to the other ones.
How do you think the fight went? You just put up a thumbs up with an eyeball on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll pop that in my mouth and spit it out, and you'll see some grossed out kids.
Yeah.
I am so furious with these 9-year-olds that they think they're going to line up against us and catch us one at a time. What I want to do is get a bunch of us to attack a 9-year-old and see how they fucking like it.
Well, you got to send a message.
Sure. And that message is it ain't over yet, is it, fatty?
As it goes through the 3rd grade.
Hey, Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron Fez, Master Pell. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right.
Good. I got a suggestion for you guys. Years ago, when I used to wrestle with my dad, me and my brothers would just bum rush him.
Sure.
And he wasn't a big guy. He's a regular-sized guy. He would stack us on top of each other.
Sure. I mean, it's no problem at all when everybody has been tried to wrestle their dad or their big brother or their uncle, and it's nothing to wrestle a kid. Fez, and that's your thing of 3. Let me drop it down this way. How many 3-year-olds do you think before you gave up, Fez?
I mean, they can't even walk.
That's what I'm trying to point out to them.
Yeah, the 3-year-olds would be easy.
All right, so how many? Give me a number.
50 3-year-olds.
50 3-year-olds. I'd be dicing them up like sandwiches. Dicing them up like sandwiches. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys, I have a question for Poe. I just want
Sure.
to know, what's the worst ass beating he's ever given somebody?
Is this something you like to sit around and think about, Master Poe?
I don't know what you're talking about. Self-defense?
Yeah.
What's
Well, just in a situation. I mean, have you ever been out and about, you're in a bar, someone will start some shit, and then you laid into them?
A few things happened in my lifetime.
Yeah. Stuff where you were cruising around with your friends drunk, saw a minority,
Yeah.
hopped out.
All self-defense.
All defending yourself.
Yeah, you got to keep defending yourself like me against these 9-year-olds, because there's a lot of them. Old bastards. Look at that kid up there. He's age 6. He's on TV right now. I guess he's been scattered in the hurricane. How quick before you think you can knock him out in one punch, Fez? Or let me ask you this: if you punch that 6-year-old on TV right now, he's been lost in the hurricane, kill him?
Yeah.
One punch, kill him?
Yeah.
I don't think you could.
Yeah, I think so.
Master Paul, looking at Fez, he has no training whatsoever.
None.
You think he could kill a kid with one punch?
Well, if I teach him in 15 minutes, he can.
Congratulations, Fez, if you're ready to make that commitment.
15 minutes to kill.
Could he kill Harry? And something that you would teach him in 15 minutes.
Sure.
Nice. Fez, maybe
I better not learn it then.
You do need the confidence that even if you don't use any of these skills, and I hope you never have to. But I could tell by the way we're talking here today, you need a little more confidence in your physical self.
Yeah, it would help.
Fez has only been in one fight in his whole life, and that one went down as a loss.
Yeah, that was, I was coming home from the 7-Eleven. I had just gotten a Slurpee.
Guess. Yeah, let me guess. You were getting some snacks. Chubsy is hungry in the middle of the day down in Florida.
And I was walking back down the road to my house, and these two kids came up from behind me, and they grabbed my bike, and they wouldn't let my bike go. And I was forced off of my bike.
Girl's bike?
No, it was a nice bike.
Yeah, but was there the bar there?
No, because the last bike I had had fallen on it, so they decided we didn't want to have that happen again.
So, girl's bike.
Yeah. So they grabbed my bike, and they were going to take my bike and everything.
Is this when they start to call you a fat gay kid, or what did they say? What did they say first?
It was fat first.
Fat.
Fat always came first. And it was these two shirtless boys in cut-off dungaree shorts, and they had cane fishing poles. Apparently they had been fishing. We had a lot of woods around the house. They had been fishing out in the woods. And then what happened was they took my bike and they threw it in the ditch there. And then as I was trying to get away from them, one of them clocked me from behind right in the ear.
So what'd you do?
I kept going. I didn't stop my pace at all, really. I kept stumbling forward and just screamed, "That didn't hurt."
Good one.
And just kept going.
Through your tears.
Yeah.
That didn't hurt.
And left the bike there in the ditch.
Your dad furious when you showed up home without a bike?
No, because I didn't tell anyone.
Oh, good.
I just waited a while and went back and got my bike out of the ditch. Yeah.
Where did he strike you?
Your urine-soaked bike.
Right in the ear. Right in the ear hole. Hit me from
pushing
behind.
it home with your red ear.
Yeah, I couldn't even get back on it to ride it home. There was no way. It just wasn't happening.
Just out of what, your own sadness?
Yeah, just
why would people be so mean? Like that had to occur to you?
That and like still just shaking like a leaf. We're at the point of I'm not even going to be able to get on bar or no bar in the middle of this thing. I'm not going to be able to get on this bike.
Fatty can't ride.
One of the things that you just said that's interesting is the areas that you're striking. He struck you in the back of the head on the side by the ear?
Yeah.
Okay, so your equilibrium was shot. You were dizzy. You were you couldn't, couldn't stand.
It rung.
You dropped your Slurpee?
Oh, the Slurpee was gone the minute I was being, held back on my bike. They had the handlebars in the back of it.
So that's
the Slurpee was gone immediately.
That's what hurt your feelings the most, that sweet ice just going right down the sewer. With your dreams and your dignity.
You know my love of frozen sugar water.
I heard this story from his dad and his brother and his mom, and they were out the window laughing, looking out.
Yeah, you think they would have come down the street a little.
Is that when they hit you with the nickname Fartley?
That's about when it started. Yeah.
That hurts.
I don't know how it networked through the neighborhood at that point. There was no internet or cell phones at that point.
There was no telephone at that point when you were a kid.
We had phones.
It was you and
the party line.
You and Fatty Arbuckle lived in the one part of town.
So that was my one fight experience.
After that, you start carrying a knife?
No. I quit riding the bike for a while.
Then how'd you make all those sandwiches for yourself at school? After that, you started to stay inside and cook more?
Yeah, then I found my love of television. Of daytime television, after school shows.
Hey, Scott, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What do you got, buddy?
I think one of your previous callers pointed out the type of kid that would be coming into the ring after you.
Right.
Today's kids, mostly soccer-playing little pansies. They don't know how to take a hit. They don't know how to give a hit. I think you're going to knock out a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, that is the truth. And I'm telling you, everybody is shocked when you get hit. If you're in a bar fight or whatever, no one is thinking after they get hit. There's no way to train to be able to take a hit better, right, Master Pell?
Well, that's not true. If you're comfortable, if you're in the ring and you're constantly fighting all the time,
right,
then you're tempering your body.
Right.
So eventually, your body will get tough enough to absorb.
Well, you're almost numb to pain.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It really depends on your training. But getting back to what we were talking about before,
Fezzy,
you're going to get tired. It's as simple as that. You will get tired. After a certain amount of punches, you're going to be exhausted. And if you think that you can do 100 kids, that's not going to happen.
I slept for days after two young fishermen got me.
All right, let's grab Steve real quick, because I know he's a battler. And, I don't want to stay with this one thing forever, but it drives me crazy. to hear how some people just have no belief. Steve, I don't know whether you heard the premise that we went through, and I've seen you. You're a guy who is ready to scrap. You took on that
Tito Ortiz, yeah.
Tito Ortiz, which to me, the balls to just say, here's a man who's a vicious killer. Yeah, Tito, I'm ready for you.
Of course.
Now, 9-year-olds, they're coming after you.
How many of them?
That's it. How many of them can you handle? How many of them can you fight off before you finally succumb?
Or you jump in the hybrid and take off.
You too, huh? Thank you. My first instinct would not be to fight 9-year-olds, only because I think there's got to be you got to have a screw loose somewhere.
All right, but let's do this. Let's take it up a notch. Right. Nazis have your parents. They will kill them unless you fight these 9-year-olds. You're doing this to save your family.
I think I've said about all I'm going to say to my parents. They can go with God. No, that's all right. If I absolutely had to fight 9-year-olds,
yes,
I could probably get about a dozen of them down before they really piled on. They're sort of like big cockroaches at that point.
I would just love to see Steve just punch a 9-year-old after 9-year-old.
I mean, if really given a choice, I mean, are they knife wielding 9-year-olds? Do they have guns?
No, white kids, non-retarded.
Oh,
non-retarded whites.
Non-retarded whites.
That's the key.
Yeah. We're making this as easily as possible.
Then I might have to up that to maybe 20.
Yeah.
I could take on 29-year-olds, but if the choice has been completely eliminated for me and I have to fight 9-year-olds, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming in and giving us your expertise. Fez,
thank you.
You're still going to tap out at 3.
3, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez show.
La madre chingada es lo mejor de Ron y Fez.
Fez, I know you're a big comic book fan. I wanted to kind of surprise you with something. There's a brand new reality series starting tonight on the Sci-Fi Network about is it called How to Become a Superstar? Who Wants to Be a Superhero? Earl, is that it?
It's Who Wants to Be a Superhero, and it's going to be premiering on the Sci-Fi Network.
And Fezzy, the person hosting this show is your hero, Stan Lee.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And Stan Lee's going to be on the phone with us in just a few moments. I've got an idea for a superhero. I wouldn't even mind pitching Stan. It's called Eat Man. And it's based on our agent, Bob Eatman.
And what are his powers?
He negotiates deals between corporations and radio personalities. He's Eatman.
So he's a super negotiator.
Like if I find myself in some kind of a contract problem, I don't call the police. I call Eatman.
And he runs into a phone booth and actually puts a suit on.
Hopefully he will. Yeah, hopefully he will. Here he is, Fezzy. There's the plug right there for tonight.
It is Who Wants to Be a Superhero. It's going to premiere tonight, 9 o'clock on the Sci-Fi Channel. Here's the host, and I believe the sole judge of Who Wants to Be a Superhero, Stan Lee.
And the legend, Fezzy. How many characters has he created for Marvel?
From Marvel Comics, he's created the Hulk, Spider-Man, X-Men, the Fantastic Four was one of his first creations. He is a legend.
Stan Lee, welcome to the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, it's great to be here. How are you both?
We are giving you a standing ovation. We're all standing up.
It's all for you, Stan.
All right, I'm standing up, bowing, and receiving it. Thank you.
Everybody loves Stan Lee. Stan,
that's as it should be.
Right. Not only did you change your comic book business, now these same characters are the biggest Hollywood stars that we have.
Yeah, and well, of course, the reason they've been so successful is because of my cameos in the movies, of course.
Is that a lot of fun for you? Because I know when I go to these films, I always try to keep an eye out for Stan.
Oh, man, it's the most fun you can have without laughing. Wait till you see me in Spider-Man 3.
Is there any kind of hint you can give us yet?
Yeah, I actually talk to Tobey Maguire as he's there as Peter Parker, and I actually say a line to the hero of the movie. We're in the same scene. It's as though I have peaked.
Very nice.
Now, one of my favorite scenes you ever did was Mallrats, where you answered some questions also.
But I'm going to tell you a tragic thing about that.
Yeah.
that was the one movie Kevin Smith did that made no money, and that's the one that I had the big role in. I'm obviously a jinx.
Stan, what got you involved with this reality TV show?
Well, we were looking around. We have so many projects we're working on, and we were wondering what our newest project should be. And it occurred to us everybody's doing reality shows, so we figured why not hop on the bandwagon? But what type of reality show would we do? And then the logical thing seemed to be the thing that we know best, superheroes. So we kept talking about it, and it just evolved into this. And then we went to my friend Nash, who has Nash Productions, Bruce Nash, and he decided to produce it with us because we couldn't have done that alone. And we came up with the whole concept, and it's been more fun than I've had in a long time.
Now, I would imagine throughout your life that people come up and pitch characters to you all the time, because I think everybody has in the back of their mind what would make a great superhero.
Well, I'm very lucky. People don't really do that as often as you might think. And when they start to do it, I usually stop them because I say, someday I'm going to dream up an idea similar to this, and you're going to call me and say, hey, don't you remember I gave you that idea? I'm going to sue you. So I'd rather not hear anybody's ideas.
I had the idea for Hot Dog Man.
Oh, you see, you did it. You told me. Now I'm in trouble.
See?
As long as I live, I can never do Hot Dog Man.
Stan, what made you go this direction with the reality show? It's people that are inventing their own superheroes. They dress up as them. What made you go in that direction rather than like a reality show involving aspiring comic book artists that would get their own comic book?
The thing is, you wouldn't know it to listen to me talk, but I really love humor, and I wanted to do this in a humorous way. This is really, I think, a fun show. I mean, you sort of watch it with a smile on your face all during the hour, and it was just something that really appealed to me. The idea of taking a lot of people who have ideas for characters they would like to be and testing them, but not testing the superpower, because obviously we can't have somebody jumping over a building or punching their fist through a stone wall. So we tested them on the essential things that every hero must have, like courage, honor, dependability, things like that. And it turned out to be so much fun. It was also hard work. I didn't realize I'd be spending so much time in the studio, but I loved every minute of it.
I would always have thought that a person who draws and writes his own superhero stories would be kind of a shy, kind of introspective guy. You always seem like a people person, Stan. It seems like you're happy around people.
Oh, I'm very shy. In fact, it is so difficult for me to talk to you now.
Really?
No, you're right. I love
you. Of course. I was thrown. I was completely thrown.
But it might be because I don't draw the strip. I just write it. So maybe if I were an artist, I'd be a whole different type of person. But I'm the luckiest guy living. All my life, I've worked with the most talented artists in the world who always make my stories look even better than they are. In fact, the same thing happens in the movies. I mean, I wrote these things originally as comics, and now some brilliant directors like Sam Raimi and Byron Singer and Brett Ratner, they put them on the screen. They do them so magnificently that everybody thinks I'm brilliant. And I'm willing to accept that.
Do you have one of your characters you created that you're like, that is your absolute favorite, that's your favorite child?
Well, it used to be whichever one I was writing at the moment, but I guess I would have to say Spider-Man because he's really become the most successful, the most famous, and everybody who meets me, if they want, or anybody who wants to introduce me to somebody, always says, this is Stan Lee, the guy who created Spider-Man. So I guess I have to say Spider-Man.
Is it kind of fun for you to see that Spider-Man films do better than Batman and Superman? I bet you couldn't have predicted that years ago.
No, it really is fun, of course. But in fact, one of my best friends used to be Bob Kane, who had created Batman. And we always used to argue about which is the best character and the most famous one. And it was more fun. I'm sorry that Bob isn't with us any longer, but he would have enjoyed continuing the argument today.
In your creations, what made you set the characters in, like, real-life New York City as opposed to a made-up backdrop like Gotham City or Metropolis?
Well, I always felt that you could enjoy reading about fantasy characters with superpower, if they were in the real world, because then somehow it would seem more believable. I never believed if some kid in a superhero movie decided to drive a car and he bought a whiz-bang V8, or he lived in Metropolis, or he went to a movie, so he went to the Bijou. I had my characters driving Corvettes. When they go to a movie, they go to the Radio City Music Hall, and most of my characters lived right in Manhattan. In fact, the Fantastic Four had a building on the Lower East Side, and, I tried to keep everything as realistic as possible so that the fantasy wouldn't seem too far out, but if you suspended disbelief about the one fantastic angle, hopefully you'd accept everything else.
Stan Lee is on the line with us, the genius behind Marvel Comics. He's got a new series on the Sci-Fi Network. It's called Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
And you'd better watch it.
And is this one of these things we're voting people off every week, Stan?
Yeah, every week we eliminate one person. And even that became a problem. I wanted my catch line to be, turn in your spandex. But I can't say that because they weren't all wearing spandex, so I had to say, turn in your costume, which isn't as funny.
Yeah.
But we learned to live with these little disappointments.
Stanley, thanks so much. It was a real pleasure of our lives to get the opportunity to talk with you.
Oh, it was great talking to you. I hope we can do it again.
All right, take care, my friend.
Okay, so long.
Thanks,
bye.
Stan.
Stanley, man, it's always a guy that just seems to always be in the best possible mood every time that you see him. And I mean, if I created, like, half those characters, I'd be so much more cocky. I would act like I was a fucking genius. I would.
Yeah, he's just excited about every single thing going on.
If that was me, I'd be going like this. If you and I ever had an argument, I'd go, I'm sorry, which one of us created Spider-Man? Oh, perhaps you did the X-Men series. Is that it, Fez?
No.
Why don't you come up with your own Hulk, then, if you're so smart? What else? Did he come up with Aquaman?
It wasn't Aquaman. Fantastic Four was
Submariner?
his. I think Submariner was his.
Or maybe Submariner was before he was around.
He did Thor.
Thor I used to love.
I don't think he did Captain America. I think that was before he
I think that too. I think Submariner, Captain America before he came in.
Yeah.
So Daredevil, Doctor Strange were a couple of other ones.
Unbelievable what this guy's come up with. And what's Fez? Name me one comic Fez has created. What do you do all day?
Well, I don't write comic books.
Exactly.
All the good characters are taken.
Were you nervous talking to him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Biggie.
excited, too, yeah.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
I was a little surprise for you, Fez.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
La madre chingada es lo mejor de Ron y Fez.
We're back. It's the Ron and Fez show. Everybody knows that song from the Magnificent Seven. We've got Robert Vaughn in the studio with us right now. Brand new television show, I guess coming out of England, right?
It was done by the BBC, is being done by the BBC. We've shot 3 years worth of film so far, and we start our 4th year in August of this year. And it starts airing Saturday nights on AMC, the American Movie Classic Channel.
We have Robert Vaughn with us, of course, Magnificent Seven, Young Philadelphians, Men from U.N.C.L.E., all these career highlights. The BBC shoots TV much differently than we do, right? The seasons aren't as long.
Well, exactly. They shoot 6 shows a season instead of 22 or 24 as they do in America, and they also have no commercials on the BBC when they're made for the BBC. So they run about 59 minutes of actual film as opposed to 48 minutes of film with commercials for America. However, they're designed. They have actual breaks written into the scripts to put in commercials at a future time if somebody buys it. And AMC is going to have commercials, of course.
The show is called Hustle. And basically it's a sting show, a con game that goes on all the time.
Yeah, it's 5 people. I'm the godfather and mentor of the other 4. There's 1 beautiful girl in it, 3 relatively good-looking guys in it. And what they do is what the sting was about. They do what's called the long con as opposed to the short con. The short con is just taking money from one person on one given day at that time and no more. Long con involves a lot of preparation. They buy out. These things actually happen, I might add. They'll take a empty store, fill it up with monitors, televisions, put in a bunch of cages and pretend that they're a betting parlor, and all of the races are delayed by a minute or so they can obviously make a lot of money knowing how they've already come out. It's just one of many, many long cons, and The Sting was a good idea of that, the movie The Sting.
And there are still so many con games that take place, particularly aimed at people in Hollywood or New York. There's always some kind of financial con game that takes place. You'll read the story every couple of years, and basically it comes down to greed. Whenever you hear that deal that's too good, it normally is.
Yeah, you can never con an honest man. So
right.
you just feed the greed is what you do.
So you've never been taken in by anyone, Robert Vaughn?
I've been taken in this sense. I have been told by a producer calling my home that he was going to do X picture in X town for X number of weeks, and he's got Vanessa Redgrave and Oliver Reed as the stars. The reason I mention them because I spend a lot of time in England. And I call up Vanessa, who I happen to know. I can't call Oliver anymore because he's not here, but I call up Vanessa. I say, are you by any chance going to do this picture? She said, never heard of the picture, never heard of it. So, and I call back the producer, and it said the con didn't work. She's not doing it.
So
that happens more often than not.
Right, because you can attach somebody's name to a project and then hopefully the money comes in later.
Exactly.
Or, so many people, it seems like it happens a lot to people that can make some decent money for themselves, like doctors or dentists, but they don't have a lot of street smarts about them, and then they get involved with, hey, this would be a really glamorous thing to be part of a movie.
That's exactly right, particularly plastic surgeons who make the most money of any doctors, and they love to get into the movie business because of their desire to be in another art form. They consider plastic surgery an art form.
And it's all glamour work to them.
Yeah. Well, it ain't that glamorous, I'll tell you that, but anyway. That does happen, of course.
Right. Robert Vaughn with us. I got to tell you the truth when I read this over, because your bio, you have such like an international type of persona. You're a native New Yorker.
I was born in New York City and raised mostly in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but partially in New York. My parents were actors, and they traveled a lot, but they very often were working out of New York, and I was with them in spring break and all summer and Christmas break and so on.
What is your education background? Because you almost have this persona of like well-to-do in all the roles that you've played.
Well, I as far as academic is concerned, I do have a PhD from USC where they play very bad football this past week.
That had to be a heartbreaker after all those games. The one game to lose. The one to win.
Exactly. Yeah. But ain't that young guy, isn't he an incredible?
Yeah, it was amazing.
6'5" and a junior. You got another year to go if he wants to.
No.
Anyway, yeah, I have been cast even from my early roles in television as kind of a guy with an Eastern education or Eastern background, which I do not really have. I was raised strictly in Minneapolis in terms of education.
But it's Dr. Robert Vaughn we're talking about.
It is Doc Vaughn, yes, you can refer to me.
And at the time of Man for Uncle, when that and the show still airs, right?
It's on what's his name? Jane Fonda's former husband, Ted Turner. That's how he's referred to now.
Yeah.
Ted Turner owns the rights to it, and it pops up on his stations all over the country every hour of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is bizarre when you think about it. But when that show blew up for you, there was only, it's the 60s, which, was a pretty exciting time, and there was only 3 channels, so today, the kind of ratings that you got then, it would be Super Bowl ratings today.
Exactly, right, yeah. And this was the first kind of show. At that time, when this show went on the air, which was September of 1964, or June of 1964, no, September 64, yeah. There had only been 2 James Bond pictures out, From Russia with Love and Goldfinger, so this kind of film had already been established internationally, and we were basically doing the television version of it. Our love scenes took place in the living room instead of the bedroom where Sean Connery was doing.
So pretty controversial at the time.
Kind of controversial, and then everybody accepted it, and it was the height of the Cold War. Many people thought this was a Russian-American confrontation. It wasn't. It happened that the co-star, David McCallum, played a Russian character, but it had nothing to do with a Cold War confrontation of any kind.
But at that time, when things take off, and you have, because you had been a movie fame, but television fame, particularly even then, was much bigger, right? It got hectic.
It really, I had done a movie with Paul Newman called The Young Philadelphians. I'd been nominated for the Academy Award. I had done The Magnificent Seven by that time, but I still was just kind of going from job to job. But Uncle changed my life completely. I went from being a working actor to being a negotiating actor.
Right.
And that's a big change. You can say what kind of dressing room you want, how much per diem you want, how many first-class tickets you want for all your friends to go somewhere, and everything is better when you're negotiating as opposed to working.
But you took advantage of it.
Is there a downside?
I did, definitely.
Is there a downside, though, where you go, oh, geez, this is more than I wanted?
I saw very little downside to the whole thing. I mean, eventually the whole kind of crazy fan worship that the show had from young girls ended because we got older and they got older and then it was over. But other than that, and that wasn't a downside really at any point, it was mostly fun. As a matter of fact, I had to put an electric fence around my property, but the girls still managed to climb over the fence and find their way up to my front door very often.
Wow, that had to be amazing. All right, we're talking with Robert Vaughn right now. We'll open up the phone lines, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Brand new series that the BBC has produced called Hustle that the AMC channel will have on American TV. And I know even with the BBC things, they don't even go on as long as we, we'll have friends. If we have a hit, they'll try to keep it on for 12 years, and the BBC doesn't really care that much.
They care if they can sell it in America.
Then it matters.
And any place else where they can sell it. BBC, although not a commercial station, it still has a bottom line financially.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So a 4th season is really a nice run in England.
Yeah, absolutely. So, interestingly enough, they like the show so much that one reason because it beat British football a couple nights, and nothing beats British football, which of course is soccer, not football. And the other one was that they liked it so much they renewed it for 2 years instead of 1 year, which is unusual.
It is. I mean, I know by the time we got the Office series here in America, it had already been off, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the first 2 seasons. 12.
That's all there was.
It was just boom. That would be the end of it.
That was the fellow who plays the leading role. That was his doing. He could have gone on, but he didn't want to do it anymore. He said that's all the ideas he had.
Right.
And he was done.
But if you watch the first 12 Seinfelds, they haven't even found their footing yet,
Exactly.
And over there, they're like, okay, we did it as far as we can go. Here is Mark. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez. Say hi to Robert Vaughn.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good. I'd seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E. a couple times, so I kind of knew who you were. I wasn't really a big fan, but I had a question about, I just moved up here to Maine, and I saw these commercials for these law offices.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there you are, pitching law offices, and I was looking at it, and I was like, this guy's not a lawyer, this guy's an actor.
So what did you play the part of it?
No, there's no part. I'm simply I'm talking directly to the camera and telling people to call up X law office and
if they've been injured in
any way and so on. But because I'm so associated with those kind of commercials, people tend to think I am a lawyer that don't know me as an actor.
They're trying to ask you some questions.
Exactly. I have a problem here. I have an accident the other night. He said, "Stop! I'm not a lawyer."
I want that guy defending me. He looks like he'd be good in a courtroom.
Yes, right. Authoritative is the word they keep using for those commercials.
Here's Alex. Alex, say hello to Robert Vaughn.
Hello, Mr. Vaughn.
Hello, Alex.
I'm just wondering, I'm a big fan of Christopher Reeve, and I was just wondering if you ever had any contact with him since you started with him in Superman 3 while he was going through his last years battling.
I did not have any contact with him personally. I sent him a couple of cards and was very much conversant with with his, problems, and as they were getting better and worse, and of course it was extraordinarily unfortunate that he was really making some progress, and really he was convinced he would walk again, and of course he died unexpectedly, which happens in the kind of paralysis that he had, which I didn't know about.
I guess a lot of people don't realize that during the shoot of the movie, everyone's very close. But then after the movie, people go off and do other projects, and you don't always run into people that much anyway, right?
There's no question about it. I did a movie in Prague in 1968 with George Segal and Ben Gazzara. And we were there not only for 3 months, but we also were there at the time that the Russians invaded Czechoslovakia. So we shared a very extraordinary moment of history, and we spent a week together under house arrest while the Russians were deciding what they were going to do. And we had to flee to the Austrian border in special cars. And it was very dramatic, very exciting, and a little terrifying also. We thought it was kind of funny until the booze ran out, and then it wasn't so funny.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I thought we would see each other forever for the rest of our lives, and we've only run into each other a few times since then, so you're quite right, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Fez, it's the same way that kind of romantic relationships will start up, because you live in this bubble world, your own universe there.
Yeah, well, it's not a 9 to 5. It's more like 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. job, and you don't have a lot of socializing during the time you're working, of course. With this gang in London, I do socialize with them. I had them all over to dinner, or not my place, at a restaurant that I love here in New York, and we keep in pretty good social contact when we're not actually filming, too.
Robert Vaughn is with us. An icon of acting here in America and overseas. Now a brand new show that's going to be on AMC. It's called Hustle. Check it out. Here's Ron. Ron, you're on with Robert Vaughn.
Hi, Ron.
I was wondering if your role you're most proud of is the one you played in basketball.
Well, only because I got to meet the two guys from South Park and work with them. That was what made it fun.
Your career runs the gauntlet here. You've done a little bit of everything.
I haven't done any burlesque, or I haven't sung in any nightclubs yet. And I won't sing in any nightclubs, I promise you.
When you're in a movie like that, though, that's way over the top.
Yeah.
How do you play it? Do you play it like it's a straight roll and then just let the jokes speak for themselves?
Absolutely. I play it as though this is really happening in real life, and if the people find it funny, then they laugh, and they don't. I don't try to walk out and say, I'm going to be funny for you, pay attention here.
Right. I noticed that a lot of people that have the dramatic background, sometimes they give a better read than somebody who's trying to go more slapsticky.
They do, and the best point, in fact, there is Leslie Nielsen, who was regarded as a very good actor for many, many years, and then he had a whole decade of being a funny guy in addition to being a good actor.
Exactly, and there's so many people that probably aren't even aware, like younger people, have no aware of his dramatic work.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts of working with Richard Pryor on Superman 3?
Well, Richard and I worked together just after he had his major accident with the exploding cocaine or whatever it was. What's it called? Anyway, I don't know what it was.
Crack.
Yeah, well, anyway, he still was pretty badly scarred on his neck, and he had a lot of pain while he was working with it. But he never interfered at all with his working. He just hung out and worked, and he had the largest entourage you've ever seen arrive near a movie set. He had 5 Daimler limousines. He had 2 cooks, 3 bodyguards, 2 secretaries. In other words, this vast number of beautiful, expensive cars showed up at the studio every day.
Right.
And he was not, thinking he was important in any sense of the word. He was very congenial and happy to work with us, and we to work with him.
Now, at what point do you think to yourself, because I'm sure that at different points of your career too, it felt like it was getting bigger and bigger and you have to downsize. How do you stay in touch once you've been in a couple of big hits?
Well, I never try to downsize. I try to keep upsizing as much as I can.
But I mean your private life, I'm getting out of touch as an actor.
My private life was only affected during The Man from U.N.C.L.E. After that, I've been pretty much just either waved on the street and say, "Hi, Napoleon," which was the name of my character in Uncle, or they just know me from other movies like Magnificent Seven, Bullet, Towering Inferno, Superman 3. And when you're on television, it seems that people are much more aggressive toward talking to you because they see you in their living room. Or you're at the other end of their feet where they're lying in bed at night. But when you're in movies, you're somewhat apart if you're only in movies, you're a movie star. Well, before television, movie stars were ranked up with royalty in terms of America.
Now, is it weirder, like, if you're in the suburbs for that, though, than in the cities? I mean, like in L.A. and New York, can you walk around in London?
Yeah, in Beverly Hills, in Hollywood, I can walk down the street, and a lot of visitors will look at me and recognize me, but they won't. But if you go into a smaller town, they're astounded you're there, and they want to know why, and they start talking.
They'll stopping you in the mall and calling their friends.
Yeah. Is there a difference between American fans that recognize you and British fans that see you on the street?
I don't think so. The British, the monitors of how successful you are British taxi drivers. They seem to know everything about everything. And I noticed a change because of Hustle. Up until a year or two ago, they always said, "Hey, Solo, how you doing, man? What's happening?" and so on. And it began last year. I got out of a taxi one day, and I gave the taxi driver a £5 note. He held it up into the light. He said, "Is this any good, mate?" I said, "You've been watching the show." And he says, "Yeah, I love it." So they're pretty hip. They're the barometer in England. But there's not that much of a difference between fans.
Here's Vinny. Vinny, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Vinny, how you doing? Vinny is a mouth organist, apparently.
Yeah.
Who can't talk.
I think he's auditioning.
Auditioning. Well, we'll have to hear a little more later time.
Here is Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Napoleon Solo, this is Ilya Kuryakin.
Hi, Ilya. How you doing?
You know, let me tell you something, Robert. When I was a kid, maybe I was about 6 or 7, that show was like the hottest show for guys. That show was the hottest show on TV. Everybody wanted to be the man from U.N.C.L.E. And they used to sell a toy pack where they had the gun and the shield and all that stuff. So me and my friend, we both bought one. My mother made me bring it back because the gun looked so real. So my friend had the gun and everything, and I had to use my hand. But that's okay because it was so cool and everybody was.
Yeah, the gun that you're referring to was a Walter P-38, and it was modeled exactly to scale on the real thing.
You know, I just got this email from Quinn that you did your thesis on Hollywood blacklisting. That's what you picked up the PhD with. What was that period like? And does it kind of, it feels like somewhat with the terrorist threat that some of those days have come back where careful what you say.
Well, possibly, but because we did go through that period and it is a thing of the past, I don't think it'll happen again because, first of all, communism is no longer a threat anymore. And at that time it was the bogeyman of the entire world, whereas that was isolated in the Soviet Union. In the case of the terrorists, they're isolated. No, they're everywhere. And as far as the thesis that I did, it was about blacklisting in the theater and in television, radio, and motion pictures. And what I found out about, I think more than anything else, was that the people that ran studios and ran networks in those days were happy to blacklist somebody, particular writers, but if they could get the same writer to write under a different name, they'd hire him for 90% less. So it really had nothing. It was just really a question of playing along with the government.
With the FBI. So the studios were more about money and just like a corporation. Sometimes it's almost like they're soulless in the sense of whatever it takes to keep moving along.
That's it. The bottom line.
Yeah. What's the easiest way to get out of this problem? Do I pay my way out of it? Do I sue back? Whatever I need to do.
Well, the easiest way during those days was to actually blacklist actors and make sure that everybody knew you were not hiring those actors. And a lot of actors that I met during the research for the book had lost their relationships with old friends, they had lost marriages, and they had committed suicide also.
I mean, anyone who's ever been out of work, there's no worse feeling than when you're not working. And to know that people are out there to stop you from it has got to be just awful.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, the writers, as I said, could write under fictitious names, but the actors couldn't act under fictitious faces, and they were really the ones that were hurt the most in show business for the actors.
There was a movie a few years back, The Front. I don't know,
Woody Allen. Yeah.
It was a great film that dealt with that. So they actually, at one point, wanted you to run against Ronald Reagan, right?
Well, that was my principal constituency were Photoplay and Modern Screen, which were fan magazines. They were the ones that were talking about it. There was a little rumbling in Sacramento about me doing that, but I never had any intention of doing it because I'm not capable of bullshitting. It is required to be in politics anyway.
Yeah, so you never seriously wanted to be involved in it, but you keep your eye on politics.
I keep my eye on it, and I remember one time the Black Panther Party, which was called the Peace and Freedom Party, wanted me to run under their banner, but I thought, well, it probably wouldn't be a good idea.
What about now? Maybe a candidacy against Arnold?
Well, I'm very well off financially and emotionally and all that, and I can't see any reason why I would want to rip up my life and go into that maelstrom of trouble as a political race, but that won't happen for me anyway.
Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on with Robert Vaughn.
Hey, big fan, Robert.
Hi, how are you, Jeff?
But now you must die.
Do you play the mouth organ by any chance?
It seems like it. Here's the Blowhard. Blowhard, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Mr. Vaughn, it's an honor and a pleasure to speak to you. I've always been a fan of your body of work.
Thank you.
It's amazing that you ran the gamut from John Sturgis to Roger Corman.
That's right, yes.
I mean, you've worked
What did you do with Corman?
A film called Teenage Caveman.
Classic.
Yeah.
And
that was before I did Magnificent Seven, needless to say. And when I did it, it was called Prehistoric World, but when Roger released it, it was called Teenage Caveman, and I was the Teenage Caveman in a sarong.
And what is that shot like in weeks?
We shot that film in 12 days, I believe.
Yeah.
Roger directed that. He didn't direct many of his films, but he did direct that.
I didn't know he directed any. I thought he was always producing.
No, he directed a couple of earlier ones, and that they shot them in Puerto Rico. He was going down to shoot 2 films in 10 days, and he wound up having enough film left over to shoot a third film, and in the film was a couple of friends of mine, and Robert Towne, who was then an actor who went on to become the Academy Award winner for Chinatown and other Academy Award films. And, Roger directed that.
But the people that have come out of Corman films, it's just amazing.
Everybody. Yeah, I mean, every town was a part of that group. Jack Nicholson, of course, Francis Ford Coppola. So all these guys worked for Roger originally.
But, well, I mean, he must have such a great eye when it comes to casting or whatever, but why can't he seem to, I mean, a lot of people make small films or does he know, hey, this is just to get into the drive-ins, just to make a buck?
I think that he knows this is where his talents are, and he has never tried to go outside that.
Never thought, I'm going to make a classic film for as little money as possible.
I don't think that ever occurred to him. I'm sure he hoped that happened, but I don't think he ever said, I'm going to make a classic film. If it turned out that way, fine.
Just getting back to The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Like that last caller said, that show was huge, and the merchandising was incredible. I had every gun. I had the kit that came with just everything, and that had to be one of the first shows that really did a lot of merchandising.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get a penny of the merchandising because I was too dumb at the time to know that.
And in my opinion, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is probably one of the greatest shows in television history, and it's a shame that it's still not commercially available on DVD.
It is going to be this year, I understand.
Oh, that's great, because every kid on my block wanted to be Napoleon Solo.
Yeah, right.
I once pushed a kid off a garage roof playing you.
That's not a good thing, Blowhard.
No. Does that make you feel good, Mr. Vaughn?
Does the statute of limitations run out on that crime or not?
And I just wanted to remind people living in the New York area that if you want to see the Magnificent Seven, excuse me for the little faux pas, it's on PBS in New York City on Channel 13 this Saturday night at 9 o'clock. You can catch Mr. Vaughn portraying Lee, one of the actual 7. An incredible film, one of America's greatest films. And Mr. Vaughn, it's really a pleasure and honor. You really are, totally talented, running the gamut from...
Is this a question, or...
This is my press agent.
So it's going up against Hustle this Saturday night on AMC. You're on every channel, Robert Vaughn.
Any actor who could work for Mr. Sturgis and then go do Pootie Tang is okay.
Yeah, Pootie Tang, that's something. Along those lines, after Casablanca, Magnificent Seven is the most played movie on American television.
And, of course, Bullet.
And Bullet's up there.
Well, the thing about Magnificent Seven, that's one of those movies that, my dad, my brother would yell, "Get in here! You've got to see it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was that first, guys movie for me when I was a kid, where I'm like, oh, I see. There's some movies that the women don't need to see.
Well, it was well received when it came out, but it gained every year in stature.
Sure.
So now it's regarded as one of the, if not the classic Western.
And is there any way when you're on that set to go, hey, I think we're doing something really special, or do you just never know until
it was absolutely the opposite. The only 2 people who were well known at the time we started on the film were Steve, who had done 2 years of Wanted Dead or Alive, Steve McQueen, and Yul Brynner, who won the Academy Award. The rest of us were all fairly well unknown, and we didn't really have a script. We had the Kurosawa story, the Seven Samurai. So we were sitting around. We played poker for about the first month and waiting for the script to be done. So we thought, well, this is never going to work. We don't even have a script, and nobody had seen the Japanese picture. Well, we were obviously wrong, and we all went on to better days and greener pastures.
And one last thing, could you just tell us about your friendship with Robert Kennedy?
All right, we'll let you go, Blard. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I met Robert Kennedy because of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. His children are great fans of the show, and they invited me to their home, and I was house guesting the first time I was there, and I house guested several times after that, and I was in a position after several months and half a year to encourage Kennedy to run in 1968. And, of course, we know what happened, and I think that everybody, including myself, bear a tiny remorse and guilt for having encouraged him to run because of what happened to him.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm sure there was no way to stop him from running. Or
no. Well, I don't know. I think he was in a constant battle, I think, right up until the day before he decided to announce that he was running, whether he would or would not go on. I know that for a fact because I was there often enough to hear him listening to both sides of the argument.
And, now I guess with history, it's almost, we see those guys as, they've almost been painted as saints or whatever over the years. But to actually know him, it must be to have known the fact that he would have doubts. For me, it feels almost more like destiny, but I'm sure it's clouded in time.
I don't think anyone in their wildest imagination thought that it could happen to him after what happened to his brother when he was president, and it did. And I remember David Brinkley was doing the on-camera commentary, and when the plane sat down on, I think it was Thursday night at Kennedy Airport, it was Kennedy Airport then, and they opened up the door, and he saw the casket start to be lifted out and carried down, and Brinkley said, and arriving tonight is, and there was a pause, he said, another Kennedy dead. Right. And it was quite a moment. It was almost like Walter Cronkite when he said Kennedy was dead in Dallas.
Right, just the 60s had so much of that. Have you ever been a conspiracy nut about any of it? Did you ever think to yourself, they're taking away the leaders?
I had a radio show for 3 years on WABC in Los Angeles when I was working, actually, the second year I was broadcasting from London. And during the course of that show, I had a lot of people calling in from Southern California who were all nutcates. They would say that Jack Kennedy is still alive, he's in a bottle off the coast of Madagascar, and so on. Well, I got a lot of calls from one guy named John Christian, and he had a theory that I felt merited some exposure on the radio, so I brought him in, and that started what became the investigation to reopen the assassination of Robert Kennedy, and several important people, friends of mine, Al Lowenstein being one, and Vincent Bugliosi, who prosecuted Charles Manson, who was my commanding officer in the Army, took up the efforts to reopen the case. It has never been reopened, but I think there's definitely solid evidence, forgetting about a Manchurian candidate concept, there's definitely solid evidence that more bullets were fired that night in the pantry than were in Sirhan's gun.
Yeah, and I mean, even the Martin Luther King thing, it's still, after all these years, it doesn't, just doesn't ring true to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we'll ever find that. It's too late for the Kennedy thing because people are dying off and witnesses and so on, but it merited reopening and it never did happen. Maybe it will happen. I'll tell you one thing. Al Lowenstein, whose name you guys may or may not know, he was the guy who created the Dump Johnson movement in 1968 that caused G. McCarthy to run in New Hampshire and caused Lyndon Johnson to opt out of running in 68. And Al was a very talented guy and a friend of mine, and I think I know that he got a confirmation from the black mayor of Atlanta, who was a friend of Dr. King. Can't think of his name right at the moment. Anyway,
I can't think of his name either. It's driving me crazy. You got it, Earl?
Was it Andrew Young?
Andrew Young. No, Andy Young told Al Lowenstein that he had spoken to Jimmy Carter about the RFK case, and if Carter was reelected, Carter would appoint a one-man commission to reopen the investigation of Robert Kennedy. Well, Carter wasn't reelected. Lowenstein himself was assassinated in 1980, and the case remains unopened.
Yeah, just every one of those cases, time and time again. We had the guy who killed Martin Luther King, or was accused of it, and he was on our radio show when we were doing it in Florida, and he said he was at the time in general population in a prison that was like 90% black. He goes, I'm safe here because not one prisoner in this place believes that I did it, that, people thought it was some kind of conspiracy and I'm the patsy. He goes, how would I be able to walk around this place if even one black prisoner thought I was involved in this?
I've never heard that, and I'll never forget it. That's really an ironic story.
Yeah. So at no time he said, did he have any problem there at all. Let's go to Scott. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hello, Scott.
Hey, how you doing, Robert?
Just fine, thank you.
I'm a big fan of chase scenes, and I know it's using Bullet.
Yeah.
And did they let Steve McQueen drive that Mustang, and they kind of like had to pull him out of the car? Or?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. As a matter of fact, the interesting point that you're referring to is in the script, the Bullet script, it said page 112, car chase. That's all that was in the script. It was all created by the stuntman and Steve. And the insurers would not let Steve drive, but he managed to muscle in on a couple drives, and they are on the screen. But mostly they were a stand-in or a stuntman driving the car. But simply, Steve would have been happy to do 100 takes on every drive, as far as he was concerned. Right. But the insurance people were very much against it for obvious reasons.
What was he like? I mean, talk about a guy whose films really do hold up. And, you know, when you see any of the Tarantino films, I still feel like I'm watching McQueen in a lot of those roles.
Yeah, I met Steve during the filming of Magnificent Seven in 1960, and I remained friendly with him through two other movies, Bullet and The Towering Inferno. I knew his first wife very well, Neely Adams. I talked to her 3 days ago, as a matter of fact. And I knew him for a long period of time. I went to races with him. I went to clubs on the Sunset Strip with him, and he was very much the guy you saw on the screen.
Right.
He was a vulnerable, tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the best description I've ever heard for him, too.
Yeah.
Let's take another one. We got Robert Vaughn with us. He's got a brand new series you can see on AMC. It's called Hustle. Here is Roger. Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Roger, you're on with Robert Vaughn.
Hello, Mr. Vaughn. Ron and Fezzy, how you doing today?
Good, buddy. Fine,
hey,
thank you.
I had a question for you. But in your, if you've ever met Robert Reed, did he ever cough up any blood on your new suit?
I didn't quite understand the question.
I didn't pick it up either. Here is Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess I'm on with Robert Vaughn, I hope.
Yeah.
You are.
Hey. Big fan of yours ever since the Man from U.N.C.L.E. and the Magnificent Seven and all that. My question for you, and this is probably a stupid question, how do you go from there to wearing lingerie in Joe's apartment, one of my favorite movies
Thank you very much.
all time?
I don't recall that I wore lingerie. Oh, yes, I did wear lingerie in Joe's apartment. But earlier in a film called S.O.B. that Blake Edwards did, I was in full drag. I had high heels, mesh stockings, and a Merry Widow. Also.
Was that a nice break from the suave roles?
Yeah.
That's actually such a great role, though. Did you, an S.O.B., was that actually based on anybody in Hollywood?
Yeah, it was based on Robert Evans. Now, I don't don't believe that Robert Evans dressed that way, but that was, it was Blake's way. He knew me. I'd done a couple pilots for Blake, a couple television pilots that did not sell. And he looked around for an actor in Hollywood he thought could best do Robert Evans. And he just threw in the drag for a little extra screw. Because Evans had told him, well, I'll go back just a moment. He did two pictures with Julie Andrews, his wife, Star and another one, that were very expensive pictures, and they didn't make any money for Paramount. So Evans eventually said to him, "You'll never work again in this town as long as you live." And so Blake remembered that very clearly, and he wrote the script S.O.B. to get back at Evans, and he had me as the Evans character say. Right. But what I said to in the pictures was when a guy would pull up my car in the S.O.B. the picture, a parking lot attendant, and he'd make a little noise. I walk over to him and say, "You'll never work in this again as long as you live," you know. And other guys, you know, it was absolutely insanity because I'm talking to people who had no effect on their lives anyway. That was the origin of my wearing drag in that film.
Well, we said we wouldn't keep you too long, but I think we probably kept you long when we were supposed to. But it was great having you on the show today. It was a real pleasure.
I enjoyed it very much.
This Saturday is the show on AMC. It's Hustle, out of the BBC. Robert Vaughn, it was a pleasure.
And it'll be on at 10 p.m. Saturday night.
Thank you very much.
We'll
take a break. We'll be right back.
Thanks a lot.
It's the best of Ron and Fez.
You did a story last week, Fezzy, about, who was it?
Crazy Dick Van Patten.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pushing a new line of dog food. I'm not sure exactly what it is. What's it called?
Van Patten's Best?
Yeah, Natural Balance. Dick Van Patten's Natural Balance, which sounds like something that makes him mud. But he said this dog food is so good, and it's so good for your dog, that humans could eat it. And while he's pushing this at like a dog food trade show, he takes a big bite of the dog food.
I will tell you this. I don't care if I'm one of the elderly and I'm starving. I will rob a bank before I sit down and open up dog food, the way you hear some old people doing. I will become a cannibal before I start eating dog food. I'll eat a baby.
I really wish he had saved some of his 8 is enough money. Because now he's eating dog food on TV.
Well, the champ and Harry said they will both eat anything. And you guys would be willing to eat some dog food today?
Yes, we have actually. We have the beef.
They said they'll eat anything Dick Van Patten eats.
We have the beef formula with fresh carrots, brown rice, and fresh potatoes. And we also have the chicken formula with carrots, rice, and potatoes.
Here's what I don't understand. Why would a dog need carrots and rice and potatoes? That's for a person.
Wouldn't that create really bad mud for a dog?
I don't think it's a healthy thing for a dog to eat things that he wouldn't eat if humans never gotten involved in the world.
Yeah, you don't see a dog out in the wild like a wolf or something digging up a carrot.
A wolf isn't a dog, my friend.
It's not? What is it?
A wolf is a wolf.
Oh.
Hence why they call them wolves. You're thinking more of a dingo or wild dog. All right, let's open this
Ron,
stuff
did you
up.
say dago?
No, I said guinea. So let's open this up and see what you got here.
Oh, it's not even.
Yeah.
God, you open. I'm left-handed. This fucking can opener.
The champ can't open up a can.
Well, left and right-handed.
You need to go to the leftorium.
I understand, but you grew up on this planet. You understand. How do you get out of doors?
This smells awful.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? It's dog food.
It smells like dog
You're
food.
just standing next to Harry.
You know what? My parents had a dog. Sometimes I would have to feed it. I would almost throw up from opening up cans. Now, Earl, are you going to have some of this as well?
Hell no.
Why not?
Why? We're having lunch today.
I'm gagging. Oh, God, I'm going to get sick.
Earl, you should smell this stuff.
I don't put it on a plate. That grosses me out. I want you to eat it right out of the can. And no
like
fork.
gentlemen.
No fork. I want you to put your mouth up there.
Your snouts.
Let me see, Harry. You take a big spoon of it first.
You get the chicken, Harry?
Yeah. Yeah, you take pictures of it.
No, I get the beef. It congealed on top. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that bone marrow jelly.
Here, go for it. Go.
It's good for you.
Oh,
that was a big spoonful.
How's it taste, Harry?
Pasty. It doesn't taste like chicken or... doesn't taste like food. It's just like
and
dirt.
he's tasted all of it.
You probably should have mixed it up a little bit before you just dug in.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
In hindsight, maybe.
Yeah. So they're eating dog food straight out of the can, like Dick Van Patten.
Now, Dick Van Patten did not have that same reaction. He loved it.
Out of all the 8 is enough girls, you know which one I'd take?
Who?
Elizabeth, a little dancer. Oh, look at the heaping spoon the champ has. Way bigger than Harry.
That's the beef formula.
Yeah.
I got the beef formula.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, there you go.
This is going to fucking suck.
Wow, that's a big mouthful.
And Fezzy, I just caught a whiff of it. It smells so bad.
Oh, man. Alpo breath.
I'm having trouble. Earl, you okay, buddy?
Earl's not there. Where is he? Oh.
Earl's moved away. He's fanning himself.
That's fucking just...
Disgusting or good?
Or Van Patten-alicious. That's Van Patten-tastic.
There's something crunchy in it,
All
apparently.
right, now look, Danny has to eat pizza.
Ew, Danny, you're gross.
That's Dick Van Patten dog food pizza.
Come here.
All right, stop
We
throwing.
don't throw
Don't make
food.
a mess. Don't make a mess,
I'll
champ.
clean it up.
I don't want you to clean it up. I don't want you to make a mess.
I won't make a mess.
This is where we work. All right, take another big gulp for yourself.
I'll try
And where's Paulie, the other intern? Why can't he come in and enjoy some? He's left out of everything now.
And his coat needs some help. It's not as shiny as it should be.
That's true. Here's Walter. Walter, you're on Ron and Fez.
Man, my dog eats anything under the sun, boys.
You know,
you give that dog olives, carrots, salad.
Well, here's the thing.
Cat turds out of the cat box. He will eat anything you give him, man.
Well,
that's
good.
what they're acting like. One thing is better than the other. But if your grandmother dies and goes on and lies on the floor, the dog will come by and eat her face off. This has happened time and time again. It actually happened to one of our producers' grandfathers.
So
not one of these guys.
Really?
Previous producers. Yes. You knew the whole story.
I don't remember it.
Try that. It's crunchy and it tastes a little burnt. So try the beef.
These guys are like Zagats right now. They're just going over it. Which one is better, the chicken or the beef?
I'm gonna try
we'll let you know in a second.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm trying the beef now.
There's a tuna. You might like to try that.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, that's terrible. You can't even swallow that.
Don't spit it out, bad dog. Bad dog.
Get in your bed.
Dog.
Get in your bed.
It smells and tastes like shit smells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like
Fezzy, just take a smell. You don't have to taste it. But just take a smell of what he ate.
The beef one is horrendous.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hand me the can.
So the chicken, a little more edible than the beef.
I thought the beef would be better than the chicken,
You would think.
and I was dead wrong.
All right, here goes Fezzy.
Oh God, does that smell like ass?
It smells like shit, like dog shit.
But not even, like stale, like not even fresh.
It smells like a litter box, but with a smoky aroma to it.
Yeah.
Like a hickory smoked cat shit.
So, like if a cat was on nicotine, what its shit would smell like.
Yeah.
I bring in Paulie.
Here you go. Take this back, please. That is bad. Bad, Dick Van Patten.
I mean, to a dog it might not be bad. For a human is
that's
where we
bad.
run into trouble.
I'm gonna try the chicken. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. The chicken.
What I like about him, he takes a heaping spoonful.
That's not that
Just
bad.
fills it.
It's not that bad.
Going back from that.
Take one more.
Put it on some toast.
The chicken they all like.
Yeah.
Chicken's not bad. It's not as crunchy.
All right, here comes Paulie. He's like, why am I left out? He's the guy that everybody just thought has more experience than the champ. He's going to do well. Nothing.
Come here, you big retard. Come on.
All right. Which one do you want to eat, Paulie? Chicken or beef?
You're eating the beef.
Which one is which?
Smell. Take a smell of each first.
Give it a smell
Take a big
first.
smell into the can. Where you going, Paulie?
It smells like fucking cat food. I don't know why it
It smells like cat food.
I have like
that's grosser to you than dog food. What do you care?
Get a heaping help. Lou.
Yeah, he wants a clean fork. Like that matters when you're eating dog food.
You don't get germs.
No, I don't.
Dog germs.
Considering where other people's mouths have been, I have no idea.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Take
Some
a
people
bite.
like eating ass around here.
Some people like eating ass.
There's nothing wrong with eating an ass.
Who likes eating
The champ.
here?
The champ tells him stories in the back and makes him just get nervous. Not you. He likes eating ass, but not yours, Paulie. Don't worry.
He still has the breath and the fucking.
I don't have ass breath.
You're eating dog food and you feel like you're above him.
I haven't taken a bite yet, so
right.
I'm still one up on him.
All right. Say yummy yummy before you eat it, Paulie.
Yummy, yummy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can.
Get it in there, big man.
Do it fast and easy. Fast and easy. Paulie the dog food eater.
Yeah.
Just think of it like a dog food.
You eat this, then we go get a chew toy for you.
Can I?
You want that?
Please?
A squeaky steak?
And later you can jump on me when I come home from work. You can be all fucking happy.
Now you're just stalling. Go.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Certainly am.
You got to get it about 7 inches
I
closer
know,
to your
but
mouth.
I can't.
You act like we actually swallow a dick here. It never happened.
I can't dig
You're having
in.
some dog food.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
No.
You're the one who asked for it.
You're having some dog food. He goes, yeah.
All right, here we go, big man. Big Paulie. Having a big snack.
His hands are shaking. His hands are actually shaking.
Come on, Chuck Wagon.
Do it for Dick Van Patten.
Oh, only for him I'll do it.
Yeah.
And you guys.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You want to be the champ, right?
There he goes. He spit it right back.
Did you spit it out, Paulie, or did you swallow?
He didn't even get it in his mouth. He's.
Paulie, come here and talk to us.
Get over here.
You're wasting dog food.
I'm sorry.
And you got fleas. We were going to take you for a flea dip after the show.
What kind did he have, champ?
He had the beef. He couldn't. He
did
couldn't
you
handle
swallow
the beef.
any of it?
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
You did not. You did not eat your dinner. Eat your dinner.
I can't.
Did you go on the carpet?
Sorry.
Rub your
Lay
nose
a paper
in it.
down for him, just in case. All right, have some chicken.
No.
Wait. I'm the one who says things. No.
All right, here you go. Bunch of chicken.
The chicken's not
Fuck
bad.
that. I ain't having that much.
Oh, you're
It's like a giant
Doesn't
meatball
matter. You
with
spit
dog food.
anyway. You like chicken, right?
No.
Never?
Not like this, I don't.
You don't like chicken.
Don't worry, it's not chicken food, it's chicken. Dog food chicken.
What's wrong with your hand?
He's trying to psych himself up.
Yeah, no, like, it's all, and
This
like,
is a
squished
natural
down and
balance. This is the best food you've ever had. Hey, I thought you were Italian. What is your background?
I'm a little bit of everything: Italian, German, Irish.
You got to be Polish.
All right, my Kraut Mick friend. All right, you ready with this?
No.
It's either this or I put on Billy Staples' album. One way or the other.
Eat your dog food.
I have to eat my dog food now. I certainly have to eat
Seriously,
my
you
dog.
don't like his album? It's a
I've
filthy
never heard it,
Christmas.
but I've heard things, and I'd
Yeah.
rather eat dog food. From what I've heard, it adds up to a 10, but not in a good part.
See, that's Fez's critique coming back.
I said
Every
from
song
what
a
I
one.
heard, yeah. I would have given him credit.
Eat the goddamn food.
Put some more on there. That's...
No. If I'm
Okay.
eating, I'm eating like
Go ahead,
this.
big man.
I'm eating in portions.
All right, here we go. On 3, ready? Open the hangar. Here comes the airplane. Airplane full of dog food. Ready? 1,
There's a dog flying that
2,
way.
3. There we go.
Eat it.
Don't
eat
spit.
it, don't
Swallow.
you. Eat it. Eat your dog food. Eat your dinner.
Is it good or bad?
It tastes like shit.
No, that's no commercial. You're doing a live read right now for Dick Van Patten.
Take 2. We're gonna get it right.
Why can Dick Van Patten eat this, and these guys are acting like it's a big deal?
Dick Van Patten ate this thing at a dog show and smiled.
All right, here's what you can do now. You're going to have a big plate of the beef, or the champ mounts you from behind and treats you like a bitch. Which do you want? What do you want?
The bitch or the beef?
Come on, what do you want?
Billy Staples album.
It's up to you. Would you rather be mounted?
I'll give it to you, champ.
Oh, me champ now, big man?
Yeah.
You'll be my little champ.
All right, ready? Put your hands on the table. Hands on the table, then.
Grab your ankles.
Assume the position.
Here we go. What do you want?
It's 3rd grade all over again.
Oh.
You want some sloppy?
Oh, jeez.
No, fuck that. I ain't doing.
Doggy food, doggy style.
What do you want?
What's it gonna be?
The doggy choice.
I have lunch to get.
I can
we're
wait.
not gonna let you go get it, you filthy bastard.
Yeah. You walk in there smelling like dog.
This smells horrendous. Oh, it's in my cut. It's in my cut right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's in
How'd
my
it get
cut.
down your pants?
Hey, RCA, you're on Ron and Fez.
You boys forgot your manners. You should have offered the ladies the first taste.
You know, it's really true. Would you ladies like to have a little bit?
Nicole, Tina?
I'd like to hear their opinion on the tastes and texture of the dog food.
We got to do it.
Yeah, you really want some?
We got to do it.
All right, go ahead, ladies.
All right, enjoy some of this Dick Van Puppies.
Which one's the chicken? I'm only eating the chicken.
Hold on. Let me get
It
some
all
on the
tastes
dish.
like chicken anyway.
She's a big chicken. And a little tiny bit.
Like any of it's really
she's
meat.
If you just do a forkful, it'll impress us.
I'm so petite, I really...
She ate before she got here. She had a fucking milk bone before she came in.
Where's my energy shake to wash it down? Oh, my God.
See, this is why I can't have an animal in my house. It's too disgusting. Ready on 3. Ready? Both
I
you
just
girls.
have to say one thing.
Yeah.
This looks exactly like the French meat stuffing that my grandmother used to make for Thanksgiving.
You must have been very happy in that family. Yeah.
But I never ate it.
All right, ready on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh. Women eating dog food.
Nobody seems to want another bite.
And still took it better than that fucking Paulie.
Paulie.
Still did a better job.
He ran away.
He is a puss.
Yeah, he had a bone to hide.
How was the chicken one?
Earl, how you doing, buddy? Earl's been throwing up, and you're not even in this room.
Awful.
Take some over to Earl and see if he just... Earl, if you have one little... Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yes.
Hey, look at me.
Yes.
One little forkful, and you'll be fine.
I'm gagging.
And you'll probably get over all this nausea problems of yours.
Oh, God, it reeks.
I think it's good for bleeding ulcers.
No,
It patches them.
Yeah.
Oh, causes them. Oh, God, put it away from me. Get it away from the board.
No
You don't want
burping in
any?
the car.
Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just want to let these people know what they're eating. It's not only just beef, it's donkey, it's horse, it's any kind of animal that just died on the farm.
No, that's not true. What's in there, Fezzy? Read the ingredients. If you're eating horse or donkey, they gotta let you know.
Yeah, the chicken. I mean, it starts out chicken broth, chicken liver, carrots,
delicious,
oat bran, brown rice, potatoes, canola oil.
That's like cannolis.
I was right. Natural hickory smoke flavor.
See?
And then all kinds of vitamins in it.
All right, so there's no donkey and horse, right?
No, none of that.
Why would they just load it up with donkey and horse, as if that was cheaper than chicken?
People think that they could just lead horses and donkeys into a factory and no one would notice.
David, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, you guys keep eating that shit. You're going to find them later on in the corner licking their balls. You know that.
Well, how much they got to eat before they start licking my balls? That's what I'm going for on this.
He smells your intern on you.
All right, champ, once again, you won again.
Yes, of course. The champ stands up to any challenge, especially with Harry and Paul.
Paulie, on the other hand, he doesn't seem like he's going to be in for the long run.
I don't think he's going to make it. We're going to have to leave him behind.
What is he doing out there? He needs to run and get that food for Fez.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's doing. He kind of just takes laps around the office sometimes.
You got to stop him. Send him out of here. Let him know he's got to get right back.
Have him fetch my breakfast, like I'm caught in a bear trap, and he's got to go get my lunch. Go get it, boy.
Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, pal?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Just going to let you guys know, your dogs are supposed to eat vegetables and whatnot. They're not just meat, not like them fucking cats.
Why should they eat vegetables? They wouldn't if they were in the wild, though, right?
Oh, yeah, they would.
And like with most animals, maybe I'm wrong about this. Most animals eat either meat or they eat vegetables, right?
Right, I thought, carnivores and herbivores or whatever.
Besides us, does anybody else split it up?
I don't know of anyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe a pig, but I thought they were mostly vegetables.
A pig would eat anything, but let's suppose it was...
If it was just on its own.
Yeah.
It would probably just root and eat plants. Yeah, it would be just vegetables. I don't know if there's another one that mixes it up.
What does a wild boar eat? They just eat vegetables? How do they get that fucking fat off of just eating vegetables?
Yeah.
You know what you would think to yourself?
Yeah, they must store it a lot better.
What? Better? I don't think it's such a good idea for them. Here's, let me go to Ted. Ted, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, boys. How y'all doing?
Cool.
Hey, Champ, I was going to tell you, you know what that crunchy stuff is you keep eating?
What's that?
That's penis cartilage. That's part of the dick.
First of all, it wouldn't be the first time for the champ.
Not the first time.
Yeah. Here's Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
Hey, when I was a kid, man, my mom couldn't keep me out of the meow mix, man.
What a thing to say.
Now, how come? It just smelled good to you?
Long-time pot smoker, man.
Meow, 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 meow.
You would do it at what age?
Huh?
What age?
Oh, I was young, man. I was like 5, 6, 7. I was munching on that, hanging around the uncles.
I mean, when you're 7, you're smart enough not to eat cat food.
Yeah, he thinks
well,
it's Chex Mix.
Yeah. But when I was like 19 or 20, I was really baked, and I went to the refrigerator to make a tuna sandwich.
Yeah.
And my mom asked me if I could get the cat food out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I was eating it, and I didn't even know it. Thought it was bad tuna.
See, that's another thing, too. I can't stand it when people, like if they didn't use the whole can of dog food or cat food, they put it in the refrigerator next to the people food.
Why wouldn't you eat a whole can? Once you open it up, give the dog everything in there. No dog is going to turn away food. Earl, you didn't want any of that dog food?
Meow mix from
You can't talk still.
It's like dry heaving. I'm sorry.
We're going to have to start you out like on bird seed and work you up to dog food.
40% of the time with this show, you're not able to talk as the producer. Hey, Bobby, come in here and take this can out. It's disgusting. You're leaving it in the middle of this. Fez is waiting for his food. The man had a heart attack. You can't leave dog food around for him to eat.
Make sure I won't leave it out next time.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what a dope.
Fez, you're talking to the champ.
It's the fucking mic. It's not me. That's why I was holding it before, because it always just falls. I didn't want it to fall during the show, which kind of didn't fucking avoid it now.
It's the mic's fault. It's the mic's fault we're in Iraq. I understand.
Here's Carl. Carl, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, you got them eating dog food. You need to send somebody down and go get them some milk bones for an afternoon snack.
Yeah.
That would make Paulie's teeth a little shinier.
Ted, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, Teddy? Going once, twice. Oh, you're out of here, pal. Here's Sally, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi. The milk bones are very good. They taste like Triscuits without salt.
Let me tell you, honey, half the things you stuck in your mouth, a milk bone would be a step up.
Finally putting milk in front of it.
Go home to somebody's leg.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, your husband's home. Jeez.
This is disgusting. These interns are disgusting anymore. They come in, they go, please, can we eat some dog food? It's the first thing Harry's done on this show for a month.
He was begging for it.
Begging, couldn't wait.
He will not turn down a meal, no matter what it is.
I can see it. It kind of tasted like Armenian food, come to think of it.
I'd rather eat that over Armenian food. I'd be having puppy chow before I sat down and had any Armenian food.
When it comes out, it'll smell like his house.
Armenian food, to me, it just seems like it would be leftover carp.
Yeah, an old carp.
Carp head. Like carp that they found on the beach.
Carp that the Turks threw away.
All right, here's Mike. Mike wants to teach us a little science. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Great, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I hope these assholes realize what they're eating. Right now, on board my truck, I have 16 bins of cow navels and 4 bins of cow lips. Bon appetit, boys.
See you later.
Wouldn't it say lips or navels on the can?
What's the difference? Everybody eats sausage, and God knows what that is. And you gotta admit, it's delicious. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just wanted to point out you guys were talking about the herbivores and the carnivores. You also have the omnivores, which are the eat both vegetables and meat, such as the bear. You know,
all right, the bear will do that.
You got your fish, it eats through twigs and berries and shit. And they're also known to drive hybrid cars. See you.
All right, there you go. So,
yeah,
a bear will do it all.
Yeah, because a bear will fish like a salmon out of the stream, and then also have like a pie that they steal off a windowsill later
Yeah,
on.
I don't count what any animal will do once they get it from a human. That's cheating. What they get on their own, to me, is what naturally they will do. Because a horse will eat a hamburger if it's hungry enough, but it wouldn't know how to get a hamburger on its own. It can't fucking order. That's for sure.
I'd like to see one try.
Earl, how you feeling, big dog?
Starting to settle down a little. Oh, just
next time that you're sleeping in here, we're going to slip a little dog food into your mouth. Because there are so many pictures of you, Earl, napping on the job going around.
Bill, Bill always dimes me out.
They all look like Grampy fell asleep in his chair watching TV.
Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
I just want to call and say hi to Nicole and Tina.
Oh, sure.
Hey.
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 You got fans.
Who's this?
This is her husband.
Hey, Bob, I got to tell you something.
It is.
Your wife has been throwing presents and cash around like I've never seen anybody. She's buying us lunch. She's handing us gifts.
What's going on there, Bob?
She thinks 50% of my income is hers.
You know, here's what you should do. You better
It is.
You better check the accounts right now, because I've never seen anybody come in throwing money around like this.
Depleted.
She's like, your money is no good here. Fez, what did you order for lunch?
I got the veggie burger deluxe.
I ordered the leather jacket, so I hope.
I'm gonna
always
dog
when
food for the rest of the
when
winter.
somebody else is
It's
ordering
not bad.
Fez, go large.
Yeah.
Go large.
Well, I just wanted to call and say hey and hope she's entertaining you.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you talk to her when she gets home? I mean,
Yeah,
right now
really.
she's on the radio. How long you guys been married?
10 years.
Yeah, you lucky to get out of it.
No.
Okay.
But he needs to go back to work, save the country.
Oh, what do you do, Bob?
I work for the government.
Really? Which one?
Yours.
All right, good.
Hooray!
Because if I found out you were an evil agent, what kind of work do you do? You keeping an eye on terrorists?
You got it.
All right, good. Is he really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's what I want. I don't want to tell you guys how to do your job, but look at the Arabs close to Saval. That's my thing. Generally, I would look at an Arab.
But he's not profiling.
No.
No.
How is profiling a bad thing?
If you know who's like, don't they profile all the time? Like if there's a serial killer out there that's killing, co-eds, they'll profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we don't know. That's the difference.
Here we have to say we don't know.
All right, talk to you later, Bob.
All right, bye.
So he's like a secret agent then, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Unless you're married to him.
And then it's not the same.
No good. Good, no good.
You guys like Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Heck no.
Oh.
Look at me. Do I look like Angelina Jolie to you, Fez? Come on.
The way you're throwing that cash around, I'll call you any name you want.
She put a 50 in Master Poe's jacket today on the way in.
You're looking great, Poe. Here, go out and buy yourself a new gi. How's everybody doing? Everything all right? We'll take a break. We're right back. Ron and Fez.
Die Antwort, mein Freund, war ins ganze Land der Wien. Ist gut, Ron and Fez.
Bring out the gimp. I think the gimp's sleeping. Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
Oh! Jesus! Ah! Oh! Oh! Get the gun! Wait, guys! What? Uncle! No!
All right.
Ow! Ah! Ah!
This is the warm-up.
Oh, God. Holy fucking shit! What the fuck was that?
You have a woman in your life right now, Earl? I know you had a date last week, right?
No, actually, that kind of fell apart.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. She had a huge emergency.
Yeah, I would get that, too, if I had a date with you. No. Something suddenly came up.
No, it was,
a dam broke.
Yeah.
No, it was really actually very serious.
What was it? Email problems?
No.
Box drop?
Death in the family.
Who?
Grandmother.
Oh, come on. Everyone has grandmothers dies. You can still go out. I could see if it was a mom or a dad, but you expect the grandparents to die. That's all part of the gimmick.
You should have done the Ed Rooney bit. You bring her old bones out here, and now...
Now, was this a white girl? Let me ask this. Did the grandmother die when she found out that she was going out with you?
No.
When Earl pulled up.
Yeah, plunk.
What happened to that little rocker? Remember you had that little rock star that we met at P.J. Clark's that day. I said, I'm like, she's going, oh, you guys on the radio? And I'm trying to set her up. I'm like, well, Mr. Douglas is the one who picks the songs that run on the radio. We just play what Mr. Douglas tells us. But
and I was just, just not into it at all like an idiot.
Yeah, that was a bad day for you. But you and her have been kind of emailing back and forth and stuff, right?
Yeah, she wants to come by and drop the CD off. But we're just trying to...
What is
tell
that?
Her, tell her to wear something tight.
Preferably skimpy.
Yeah, sure. Sell it. Make it all happen. So you and her, you're keeping the relationship going.
Yeah, we've bounced a couple emails back and forth.
Nice. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Earl hanging out with us today.
This is fun. This is
you having a good time?
Yeah, no, it's just I love being in this room.
Yeah, well, you can live in here now.
Well, maybe once you get that little waitress in here, and, she brings in her CD, maybe that'll be the moment that it all clicks for you.
I don't know about that, but
because then you got home field advantage.
Yeah, that's true. I got the home ice.
Exactly. Then you're going to look like the king of XM.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to dress the part too.
What's her name? Jackie.
Jackie, yeah.
Jackie, if I have some info
for
Dave. Yes.
You got put in the hole. This is Earl time.
Okay.
And by the way, you have no info.
No, I just know things about Earl and Jackie.
Well, let me rephrase that. He's been reading my email when I'm not in the room. That I caught you stone cold yesterday.
Oh no! Only
what was he doing?
No, because because I usually keep my inbox open.
Yeah.
Because I'm in there because anything pops up, from DC or whatever.
Right.
So I had to run across the street to get you that DVD.
Oh yeah.
So I come back and I go to check my email.
Wait a minute, let me remember what the DVD was.
Oh, the DVD was Yo soy boricua pa que tú lo sepas.
Which means, Puerto Rican lives next door.
No.
Okay, something, I don't know. Look.
So,
now Bronx Johnny's mad.
So I go back into the studio and I go to check email and I have, I put everything in the folders and her folder was open. Where all of the emails we've been going back and forth with.
Dave, you don't read other people's emails.
I'm just on Earl's. I just have to keep tabs on him from some time.
You've read Bronx Johnny's emails too.
Are you reading his French emails?
No.
All right, you little cock blocker, you red-headed cock blocker. Stay away from people's emails.
Earl, sometimes I just want to make sure that things are going on with Jackie, and I know that he's interested in her and stuff. And I like
that has nothing to do with you, Dave.
But it's funny to me, those emails, because he writes such passionate emails like, I'll definitely stop by! ! And here, it's going to be great to see you.
Dave,
everything, has
none of your business.
It really is none of your business, Dave.
I don't read your emails to Westside or whoever you write to. It's none of your business.
Yeah, his email would be, Westside, sorry I shit all over the bed.
But if the inbox is open, I kind of feel like it's sort of
it isn't.
No, there's a difference. If my inbox is open, that's one thing. You went into a specific folder. That means you were fishing for information.
And here's another thing. If Earl leaves his wallet out on the desk, it doesn't mean that you're free to go by and go through it. You have to have some kind of trust around here.
I mean, sometimes Earl gets emails from, XM people and stuff. So I want to
Those are for Earl, not for Dave.
Yeah, you're not entitled to look at those either.
If Wiki wants you in on it, he will put it in care of you. If it says Earl and Ron, then we each get it. If it says Ron, then Earl doesn't read it. If it says Earl, then Ron doesn't read it.
Well, I also feel like, I could just help Earl out. I could be a messenger.
Why don't you do this?
Earl,
if you see Earl on the phone, why don't you get on the other extension and start listening in?
I mean, the emails were pleasant enough. It was a nice correspondence. It sounded like two little lovebirds.
No, Dave,
really
you're missing the point, though. You don't read other people's mail.
I don't see why.
You don't read other people's mail. You do not do that.
If the box is open, I have to. I mean...
No, you don't. You minimize
still his.
You minimize it, and then you go somewhere. I told you that.
Don't make us be at the point where if somebody gets up, they gotta go, let me turn off the computer because I can't trust my
coworkers. Earl needs to be pushed into these things with these dates, and I feel like if I can look at the correspondence between Earl and the girl, maybe I can, give him advice.
You banged one woman in history. You should be Cyrano de Bergerac for him. You and your big fucking nose should be hanging around outside the other side of a bush.
I just feel like I know how to steer Earl into this Jackie.
What is he doing wrong, in your opinion?
Well, there's too many exclamation points, for one thing, on the emails. They're way too bubbly, and everything is, we'll be there at 5 o'clock. Can't wait to see you.
But
it's going to be.
Dave,
I apologize for not showing up.
Wrong? No, see,
Dave, do you get the point though? It's none of your business. If I needed your advice, I'd ask you for it. But don't speak for me.
Things like, we're going to try and make it down to PJ Clark's, Jackie. It'll be great to see you there. These things, it's too over the top. You should just say, hey, we're going to see you, maybe not, maybe we will, maybe we won't see you, and I feel like, Earl, you should just let me read the emails because I can impart some of the...
No, I'm not going to let you read anything, Dave.
All right, my BlackBerry just went off, and it just says on it, this is Frenchie. He always reads my mail to Johnny. You are a pain in the ass.
If the inbox is up... I have to.
No, you don't have to do a damn thing.
What is next? You're going to start snapping pictures of Earl in the bathroom stall?
Let me ask you a question. You ever read my email?
God, no.
I will dig your fucking eye out with this thumb. And I don't care what it is. I don't care what is. If it says my name on it, leave it the fuck alone.
No, I would never do that. Even if I saw somehow like you had left your AOL open, I would turn off the entire computer. That's exactly what I would do. But
swear to Jesus right now.
Swear to
and
Jesus
you've never
Christ.
read it.
Never. Swear to Jesus. I can't say the same thing for Earl because I don't want to see why Earl doesn't see this as me caring about him. I'm just trying to...
I think you're busting his balls is what you're doing.
I think you're busting my balls and you're being very, very nosy. That's nosy.
That's beyond nosy.
It's rude.
Friends have to get information about each other in order to give advice.
I don't think he said anything wrong. I don't see where an exclamation point is wrong.
Exclamation points about everything. Sorry, I missed the show
What
last
are you
night.
holding?
What is that?
You printed it?
Oh, he is an ass and a half, Earl. You printed out Earl's emails?
I just wanted to quote him exactly.
You are a dead man. You're beyond dead.
Earl must have been gone yesterday 15 minutes because he only ran across the street.
I ran across the street. We talked about a couple of things, and then I came back.
If he was gone a half an hour, I'm shocked. How the hell do you not only read his mail, but print it out in a half an hour?
I wanted to quote him exactly. I wanted to...
Dave, you're missing the point once again because for some reason between that thick red skull of yours, Dave, it is none of your business.
So, Earl, I want you to know, not only is he reading your emails on the computer...
He's printing them out.
He's printing them so that it's there in the community printer. So it's sitting there where everybody in XM could see it.
No, I got your email. I printed it out, Earl. I stapled it and put it right in my folder. I didn't show it to anybody.
You feel like that you're protecting him by just you reading it.
I didn't show it to anybody.
And now you've been reading some of it off the on the air.
Well, you have to quote someone exactly.
Dave is taking every fiber of my being right now not to choke you out right now. It
and
really
what if this chick turns out to be a rock star down the road? Now you're reading her fucking mail. Suddenly, if it's like reading Chrissy Hines' mail.
I'll sell this on eBay, Earl. We'll make a ton of money.
And I told him, and I told this about, it didn't even involve me. I told this about when he was doing it with Johnny's email. I was like, that's none of your business.
You were there and you saw him reading Johnny's email?
And I'm like, what are you doing?
What was he saying when he was reading it? Was he
just
bringing it up to you?
He was reading it. I think he was trying to print it out, too. And I'm like, what are you doing?
So the printer was on paper that day. But
now when Frenchie told me before that you're in their business, you're like, she's crazy, Mr. B. She's out of her mind.
I care about people. Is that
everyone hates you? And I don't mean that in a bad way. But you can't do this kind of stuff.
You have to see these little things. I mean, apparently Jackie lost her wallet. And then Earl writes, sorry to hear about your wallet, exclamation point. I hope everything works out for the best.
What is... that's... First of all, that's something a guy could say to another guy. It's not even sweet talk.
It's just... Who says, like, I hope everything works out for the best?
He's
for a wallet. You say that for someone going to surgery.
Opie said it to Peter Jennings, all right? Good luck, bro.
Earl.
I don't want to do another 30 days because
I
want to break something right now. I want to break someone or something.
Break him, if anything.
I just hope he knows how much privacy he's violating because Jackie, the waitress, gave you her email address.
Yes.
She did. If she wanted this nut to have it, she would have given it to him. Now he has someone's email address.
And you realize there are privacy issues within the company.
We ought to send Mikey D back to your house, you little pussy. We stuck up for you when Mikey started rattling your door. You big fruit. Now you don't understand privacy.
I don't think it really is It's sort of like that phrase, finders keepers. And if it's up there on the screen,
you cannot. All right. What about anything in his desk?
No, you
is
went
that
to
all of ours?
No. I mean that's in his desk, but I mean this is on a public computer. If it was on Earl's computer, I might have a slight doubt of doing it. But if it was on the mainframe computer that we share at XM.
At that particular moment, that was my workstation, and you basically violated my
I got to agree.
my workspace.
I got to agree. We do have Frenchie online right now. Frenchie is, as he says, aside Johnny's lady friend, that's somebody that he spends time with. And Dave is obsessed with them, like he's fucking Access Hollywood, and that's Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And he comes in and last Friday he's like this, "Did you hear?" And I'm like, "What?" "It looks like Johnny's being stood up, standing out in the rain. Frenchie hasn't showed up yet." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Hey, Frenchie, how are you, honey?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good.
And I don't hate Dave. I like him, but I just wish he would tell the truth once in a while.
About what, Frenchie?
About everything. First of all, I just want to say I'm just trying to get airtime. That's why I'm calling in.
I never said that.
Yeah,
People are putting that into your head. I never said that. I would never say that.
Oh, you never said that?
Of course not.
So Johnny lied?
Johnny? Well, first of all, that makes no sense. Johnny, did I ever say that to you?
Yeah, you did.
Well, that's...
Well, that solves that case, Perry Mason.
You?
I don't think that even really happened.
No further questions.
You never told Ronnie that I was hanging out with Johnny when I wasn't even hanging out with him?
No, I said that you guys were planning to meet on a Friday for dinner.
No, you didn't. You said the fucking weekend together.
Or a hotel room, well, after the dinner.
But I'm like this. Dave, what has this got to do with me? Why are you telling him this? I hope these guys are happy, both of them happy. It's none of our business, though.
I just think everyone should know, what our friends are up to. And
well, you know everything.
Yeah.
How many emails did you print out today?
Only a couple.
No, Johnny, he told me some things in confidence. And
right.
And my attitude was like, you know what? God bless you.
Right.
It was
enjoy
have
life.
fun. No, I didn't get on the phone and call you
right
as immediately like a freaking chirping bird.
I will say this. You do not run a gossip column. There's one gossip column right now, and that's that fucking Cindy Adams lookalike, East Side Dave.
Just keep trying to keep everyone abreast.
I told Earl something today, but I think Eastside Dave overheard it, so it might come out on the air.
I didn't overhear anything, but could you tell me off the air? I promise. This time I'll keep.
I don't want you to know my phone number or my email address.
Oh, I know that already.
Is this getting too much into Bronx Johnny's personal business? He's on the phones right now, and Frenchie's typed in his Frenchie Cakes.
That is her nickname, Frenchie Cakes. All right, Dave, Earl, I will say this. You are the executive producer. I mean, this really is a corporate matter now. You cannot get into other people's shit.
No, if I did that, I'm fired.
Right.
No questions asked. No, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like if I went on to, I don't know, if I went into your email or Fez's email.
Yeah.
Or Wiki's or Elo's.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't kick me out the door.
Oh, I would never go into Ron or Fez's email. Or
no one
Tom
could
Wickman.
believe you. No one could believe you.
I wouldn't. Well, no, you guys trust me on this one. Only Earl, because I like to...
Johnny.
And Johnny.
Yeah, so that's two.
I like to know people's business. Is that so wrong? I mean, I think
Where I come from, that's nosy. That's what
I'm informed. That's a different word.
Fez, luckily for you, you don't get or send email.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Checking my medical records.
All right, Frenchie.
Bye, guys. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Frenchie.
All right, this is a problem, Dave.
I will try to correct it. I mean, if Earl really has a problem, I mean, if you really have a problem with it, I won't read your emails.
Earl, tell him how you...
I have a huge problem with it. Huge problem.
And he's not joking.
All right. Not even, emails. I mean, I won't read anything from Don or anybody, but how about just a couple occasional emails from Jackie?
Nothing.
Nothing
Zero.
at all.
Because that keeps me really entertained.
Unless it says it's Dave.
Unless you are CC'd or it says to...
Could you ask Jackie to CC me on all the emails that you guys give back and forth?
You're a smartass.
You are. You're a fucking wise guy. You really are.
And here's the thing. No one believes you that you're taking this vow of respecting Earl's privacy. You will be doing it by show's end.
I mean it this time.
Here is Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you guys doing?
Hey, buddy.
I'm from where he grew up, not in Spring Lake, a couple towns over. I know exactly what type of kid this is. I have friends that go to CBA, graduated the same year as he did. I've always supported him. For some reason, I always thought you were busting his balls too much, Ron, and that you didn't give him a break. You know what? I'm a fucking idiot. Ron, you had him pinned since the beginning.
Since day one.
He should be begging for forgiveness from Earl. Why isn't he doing that?
Like any sociopath, he doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. It doesn't exist for him in red-haired land.
Yeah, you can't explain to him morally, legally, whatever-wise, why what he did was something he shouldn't do.
What I'd like to do is throw bleach on him, but you wouldn't be able to tell. You would not be able to tell.
If you care about someone, sometimes you have to do, you have to go over the line. If you care about someone. I care about Earl. I have to know the information.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
No one wants a red-headed glow stick to care about them. It's fucking scary for him to think that you're getting involved in his mail. And here's what worries me, Earl. What if this cocksucker starts sending her notes using your screen name?
That is why I'm trying to really control myself and not...
I'm sure he has. Any luck with the wallet?
Do not leave your wallet out around this place. I got fucking 2 dog chains on mine right now.
Boz, you just give me 5 minutes with Dave, this shit'll be straightened up.
I'm all for it. I'm for you giving an Ecuadorian beatdown. So he fucking Ecuadorian education. That's the only way he's going to understand.
I don't like that idea very much.
What if I unleash Hands of Stone and let him just fucking go at you?
No.
I'd fucking let that little Roberto Duran start fucking peppering those eyebrows of yours. What's left of them. It just drives me crazy. Tony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dave, you really are breaking the law. Do you understand that? That what you're doing is not even funny, and you're lucky that Ronnie finds you to be amusing and an asset to the show from the dumbness factor that you bring. If you were in corporate America, you would be fucking fired instantly with all the bullshit that you pull.
Well, the interesting thing is, this is a corporation. We signed fucking things about not harassing the fellow employees.
If Earl's inbox is up on the screen and I'm simply reading it, it's like seeing someone...
And printing it out and then telling everybody the story later.
No, Dave.
Well, maybe printing it out was a bad idea.
No, here's the big difference.
And also color-coding it with Earl in yellow and Jackie in orange.
Oh, you're an asshole.
It's all highlighted.
You are a fucking asshole.
No, but the thing that really makes me mad is the inbox is up, and then he specifically sought out the folder. That's where... Even if the inbox is open, okay, that might be fair game, maybe.
Right.
But when you specifically seek out a folder...
He's going through your shit. And then like an idiot, leaving it up, so when you come home later, you find it.
Oh, I just thought...
You're the worst crook since Watergate.
You know what? I just thought of an alibi. Earl oftentimes, because he's too busy with the show, he'll have me open up his email and say, Dave, could you open up this thing?
I ask you.
From Wiki.
Right. And so how is it different?
Because they're updates to the things that, Wiki wants us to plug or whatever.
Well, maybe, yeah, but I could have, if my finger accidentally slips on Jackie's email, then...
You'd like your finger to slip on Jackie. You have no sex life, so you're all curious about everybody else. You fucking lace Irish. You ever hear that term, Fez?
Never.
It's because the Irish, in the old days, they would have lace curtains so they could peek out the fucking window, see what everybody's doing, going back and forth. That's a fucking true statement, do you, Mick?
That sounds like a great idea, actually.
I grew up around those old ladies. They fucking want to know what everybody's doing at all times.
And he's such a crybaby. If you came in here and you had printed out an email, a personal email of his, he'd be calling the cops.
I know, like you fucking did with Mikey, you pussy. You call the cops on Mikey D for showing up at your house, and then, but this basically the same thing, getting involved in somebody's personal space. No, you're a laughing hyena about it.
Well, that was Mikey D's thug, remember, that I called the cops on, not Mikey D. I could handle him coming over.
It was Mikey you called on.
Yeah, and his thug. His big, huge Goomba thug that was gonna rough me up and crack my head open.
Citizens arrest!
Here's what my prayer is, and I'll literally say this prayer to Jesus. I'll leave here, I'll go to St. Patrick's and light a candle. That guy comes back to your house tonight and kills you.
Amen.
Really, I mean, I'm a practicing Catholic.
You're a practicing Snoop.
Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Fucking Ralph Mouse. Fucking Happy Days.
Seriously, Donnie Most. It's like having Donnie Most go through your fucking computer.
He's our Donnie Least.
Give him a fucking two-piece.
I still got it.
You never had it. I saw Paul O was up there for a second. Are we going to do stuff with him or no? Because I don't care one way or another. Paul O is just as bad. This is one bad team we've assembled here. Fucking 62 Mets I'm looking at.
Paulo will be in.
Dave
60 seconds.
Dave does look like Marv Throneberry. He was another redhead, I think.
Yeah, you are. You're fucking marvelous, Marv.
But I'm obligated. I gotta report this.
Report it.
I'm
Don't
obligated.
Report it.
Why would you report it? I offered you like donuts yesterday. Remember all those cookies and
Those
stuff?
were leftover from Stalker Patty's leftover food from 2 days ago. Oh. You're eating it, something that fell out of her fucking snatch when she was doing that fucking dildo gimmick with O&A, and you're eating it like it's nothing.
They were tasty. I mean,
Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dave.
Yeah,
reading
Jim?
people's emails, eavesdropping. What do you think you are, the U.S. government?
Seriously, you're on a terrorist alert over there?
I always wanted to be a Fed, you know, after I saw the X-Files.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. He waves at me, and then I point at him. He goes, he's nothing.
Sorry, there was a guy waving to me. I had to say goodbye.
You're looking at me.
Exactly. When
you don't wave to me.
Yeah, that was bad. I
need you.
Paying attention to you, but then waving to him.
I got to tell you right now, Team Watley has lost already today. And
halfway through the show,
have been pushing for Earl to train you, but it's turned into a bad idea because I can't have you distracting me while we're doing a radio program.
All right. I'll get on top of things.
People are going to walk past the studio. You can't just start waving to everyone you see like the Puerto Rican Day Parade has started already.
Fez, he's in Team Watley, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like you've made any headway with him at all?
You know, there's sometimes where I think, okay, yeah, we're on our way. Then the show starts. And then it's, for some reason, noon in the east, everything goes into a shitstorm.
Here is Don. Don, you're on Fez.
I get so excited when Dave fucks up because I'm really hoping that he can open up the email from Don Wicklund that says, Dave is fired. See ya.
I'm going to say right now, Wiki should fire you for what you've done today. And what you've really done since you've been in here.
And all he has to do is send the email to Earl.
Yeah.
To make sure that you get it, Dave.
Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
As painful as this is, I got to defend the redheaded idiot. If you'll go back and remember how painful it was listening to Earl screw up with those girls, Dave may be doing him a favor trying to prevent another Mitch Williams type situation. That was so painful listening to Earl.
All right, first of all,
anything to prevent that, I'm all about.
Bro, you broke my heart by bringing up Mitch Williams, and I'm going to try to move on from that, okay? Because I put that right up there with JFK getting killed. That was my where were you when fucking Mitch Williams decides to groove the fucking plate. But no one is saying you can't be there and try to help Earl. No one is saying you can't coach Earl and be a friend. What you can't do when Earl goes over because he's doing the company's work is to go into his computer, open up his Jack K file, and start snooping around, hoping to see the phrase, my balls in there somewhere, so you can embarrass him.
Just trying to push Earl into love. Just giving him love and companionship.
Why? Why do you care?
He needs it. He needs it, I think.
Earl, I'd be careful. Not only when you leave the room is he reading your emails, he may be sniffing your chair.
Oh.
So just be careful.
Should I leave a present?
If you must.
Here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo, you're on Fez.
Now, you know, man, we had a guy up here in Chicago that went through some email files like that on an open computer. First of all, they're redheaded stupid. It's not a public computer because it's in a private company. And you can get fired for something like that. Just like being able to boil water would constitute you to bend that ugly bitch over you call a girlfriend, stupid.
Wow. Ronaldo, you may be my favorite caller. You know what? Ring the cowbell. You're going into the prize closet. You're going into the prize closet. You're a lucky winner.
Let's get him a DVD copy of the Boondock Saints Special Edition, which is in stores now thanks to Fox Home Video, and that is signed by Billy Connolly.
Look at that. He makes out like a bandit.
He shouldn't have.
Why?
I didn't understand the boiling water thing.
Well, anyone who's a chef gets to go down on your chick.
Oh.
So remember when you told us that story about the chef?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That fucker. Whatever.
What's wrong?
Do we have to keep bringing up the West Side
I didn't want
stuff?
to.
All right.
The West Side Highway, as she's known?
You,
Jesus Christ. Pitts, don't laugh.
Yeah.
Why is Pitts laughing at this?
Well, I mean, people aren't laughing at you. They're laughing at your relationship. That's different.
Forget it.
It's not about you. But if you give that girl a cheese sandwich, you're going to get your nuts licked. All right, and that's not a bad thing.
I get your nuts licked.
Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Really miss Dave Free Thursdays.
You know, we did have a Dave Freeze Thursday. I even got him in the fucking hole over there, and I brought Earl into the studio. Doesn't matter.
Still hear him?
Yeah, I know. The prick went and popped open a mic because he pissed Earl off. Earl, get a knife and stab him to death.
No, because the
You
Eddie
get him a
Jury would
knife
convict
and
me.
stab him to death, and I'll make sure you get your own channel.
How about this? I'll right now let Earl slap me in the face.
All right, come on over.
Completely
bro.
allowed.
Go ahead, slap him in his fucking face, Earl.
I'm not gonna.
Just fucking paintbrush that son of a bitch.
Earl, this is the one piece of XM property you're allowed to damage.
Then I say we're all even. He asked for it, Earl, not you. Light him up.
Come on.
You really want me to slap?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll
And
take
Earl, do it fucking, take him,
as hard as you want. I don't care.
Because
I'll
if
take off
you
the
don't,
headset.
you're going to look like a pussy.
Is it would be like a comic book slap?
No, man.
No.
I want you to just fucking paintbrush him.
Slap him across his chops.
He's left-handed. Go ahead, move that mic, Earl. And you're going to look like a pussy if you don't drop him to the floor. I know that. You really will.
I can't even remember the last person I slapped. I punched people. But
Well,
I never
just
slapped.
act like he got your boots dirty or something. Just slap him with a glove.
Like the French slap?
Yeah, no. I want you to just light him up. Light him up because he asked for it. And he said, Earl, I want you to slap my face.
All right, hold on.
And I want you to do it like you're swinging a bat, Earl, right from the hips.
Well, he's lucky my shoulder's stiff as a board.
Give yourself some distance there. Line it all up properly. Oh, that was nothing.
That hurt.
That was nothing.
Earl, you can do better than that.
Oh, you want me to do one more?
It's up to him.
Holy shit.
Dave,
Go
what do you
ahead.
want?
I'll do one more. That hurt, though.
It's supposed to hurt.
Oh, look at the fingerprints are already on Dave's face. You know what? Because it's like hitting snow. You didn't even hit him that hard. E-Rock, come on in and check it out for justification. Turn around and look at the full hand on his face right there. Look at the fingers down his neck.
I'll sue this black.
What did you just say?
I'll sue this black guy.
That's stupid.
Now
That's
really,
fucking
slap
stupid.
him hard.
Wow, I can't believe the way the finger have come up on
Go
him.
ahead, give me one more.
And everyone says I have big hands in.
You do. You got the big mitts.
Oh,
big hands, you know you're the one.
He's shaking.
That fucking hurt. What? Yeah, that
supposed to hurt. That didn't hurt you.
It did hurt a little.
Oh,
Come on, Earl, swing that stick.
wait, should I do the other side of the match?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Palm him right across the mitt. Oh! Turn around so I can watch the bruise come up. There it comes. Look
Stay
at
profile.
Look at it start to rise. Turn around. Let me get a look because it takes its time.
Stay profile to Ronnie.
Yeah. I cannot believe your skin. They're always going to know who murdered you.
Here it comes. It's starting to rise up.
Oh, it feels like it. And I got like the black juice all over me.
All right.
Fucking racist.
He's intimidating me now.
You can see the palm print.
Let him choke you. See how long it takes to choke.
Doesn't choke yourself.
What?
I can't choke him. Then it's a crime.
I think we're even now.
Break his fucking windpipe.
I'm trying to give him girl tips.
I think we're even too.
I'm trying to give him girl tips.
Do
And
you
he gets
feel
to
like
punch
we're
me in
even,
the
Earl?
face.
Maybe.
If that's the case, I want you to go back through his computer again. You want him to kick you in the ribs?
No.
I'll let him kick me in the stomach.
Oh, you're the nicest guy ever because you could have really laid him out.
Hey, did you hear that?
I'd have put you right through that goddamn wall, and I kid you not.
No, I remember once when we were on NEW, they asked me to slap a girl's ass. I just wound up. And just
You make her cry?
She almost jumped through the ceiling. That's how high in the air
Yeah.
she went. And she had this big handprint. It looked...
Looked like Dave's face. Just a big ass face with a handprint on it.
I just remember because she was almost as pale as Dave, and it was just this big red.
There's no such thing as almost as pale as Dave.
I am lit up. I mean,
seriously,
the hands is still like, my skin feels like it's reverberating.
You can still see this.
Word.
Like,
I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
Just
next time,
pulsing.
Earl, try to get a thumb in an eye while you're going across the face. Scout something out there.
Like the
Put
old
a ring
Asian
on.
Spike.
Put a ring on. We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez show.
Oye, vato, es lo mejor de Ron y Fez.
Get ready, kids. Live from an abandoned tool shed behind a local elementary school. It's time for Uncle Fezzy's Pants Puppet.
Hi, kids, and welcome to Uncle Fezzy's Pants Puppet.
I love the Pants Puppet.
You do? Well, what's your name, little boy?
My name is Johnny, and I want to see the Pants Puppet.
Well, Johnny, today I'm going to tell a story, and the Pants Puppet is going to help me.
Got it, because the Pants Puppet is my favorite.
Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, and the Pants Puppet is going to play the part of the Beanstalk. Now, let's see. Who wants to be Jack?
I do. I want to be Jack.
Anyone?
I do. Look at me. It's Johnny. I want to be Jack.
Okay then, Johnny. Here comes the Beanstalk.
Look! The Pants Puppet is a beanstalk!
It sure is, Johnny. Uh-oh. What's happening now?
The Pants Puppet beanstalk is growing!
It sure is. Now remember, Johnny, you're Jack. So what do you have to do?
I have to climb the beanstalk!
That's right, Johnny!
Yeah!
Grab it, start climbing!
I'm climbing it!
Climb that beanstalk!
I'm climbing it!
You do it! You get on it!
I'm climbing it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's slippery!
Uh-huh. Just keep climbing,
It's
Johnny.
a
Keep climbing.
slippery beanstalk!
Up and down. Climb up and down.
Oh, no! Sap came out of the beanstalk!
Sorry, kids, but you know that sound mean. It's time to go, and I mean fast.
The Pants Puppet beanstalk is wilting!
Keep it moving, Johnny. Everyone out the back way. Let's go, kids. Out.
But I forgot my jacket!
Screw it, kids. The show's over. But join us next time when the Pants Puppet will act out the movie Anaconda. Bye-bye, kids. And remember, it's our secret.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what up, fellas?
Yeah.
Listen, I heard you guys comment on the fact that anybody who doesn't like football is gay. Well,
No, I never said that. Anybody who doesn't like football is a woman. That's all.
Oh, okay, well...
Anyone
you
who
know,
sucks dick is gay.
Yeah, well, I've been competing in professional no rules cage fighting for the last 4 years, and I really don't watch football just because of the fact that being in that competition, I really can't deal with
la-di-da.
sports.
Really, man?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta understand is that like when you train your ass off, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week.
By training your ass off, do you mean dancing to Right Said Fred?
Yeah. But you go into a competition or anything, and because somebody slacks off because they've been drinking all week instead of getting in the gym, and you lose a fight or a game because of them, that just pisses you off more than anything. So I mean, I really don't even I don't like team sports anymore. Also, I did a little time in federal vacation. And yeah, you got it. Fez, honestly, I hope to God you never go to prison, because if you try to pull anything that you've been pulling on this show as far as welching out on your beds, man.
Wait a minute, sir. It's your ring entrance music.
Man, you don't.
I'm too sexy for the cage. Too sexy for the cage. It's all the rage. I'm too sexy for jail. Too sexy for jail. Put me in a cell with a male.
Hey, Fez, honestly, if you go double or nothing on a bet, and then no one wins, if it's a draw, guess what?
Too sexy for your call. Too sexy for your call. Hey, you missed one of my balls. I'm a model, you know what I mean, and I do my little turn in the octagon.
Where?
In the octagon. on the catwalk, yeah. I do my little turn on the octagon. You've made a fool of yourself, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, Fez, can we bring down the gay factor just a little bit? It's really uncomfortable.
Too sexy for ultimate fighting. Too sexy for ultimate fighting. Hey, that's my dick you're biting. I'm too sexy for your chest. Too sexy for your chest. Oh, look, you made a mess. I'm a cage fighter, you know what I mean, and I do my little turn in the octagon. Where? In the octagon. In the octagon. I do all my fighting in the octagon.
Why did that come so easy to you? Why? Who's able to improvise a fucking gay cage fighting thing to right side Fred?
And in this corner?
Hey, I actually got a email from J-Dubs from the Hideout in Florida saying that these guys are coming back. They've got a new song that makes that song look butch. That's where Right Said Fred's head is right now.
Finally!
Yeah.
Hopefully there will not be a sophomore jinx.
I honestly can't even look at you since that Right Said Fred stuff started.
We have the 2 new songs that they sent us.
Have you heard it yet?
Yeah.
What's the hit?
What is it? I Love My Car.
All right, let's take a listen. This is Right Said Fred back after what, 12 years?
Oh man, long time. Yeah.
Fast. I like to drive it slow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I never take a train. I never ride a bike. 'Cause driving in my car is what I really like. Oh yeah.
Ah, you remembered my balls.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget my balls. No pussy for me, thanks. Come here, this fatty needs a fucking. How's about me and you climb Brokeback Mountain? Boy, howdy, my asshole hurt. Boy, howdy, my asshole hurt.
I never party hard or wear designer clothes. 'Cause driving in my car is where my money goes. Oh yeah.
There's 7 dicks in my ass, and there's always room for 8. Check out my man titties. Time out, my bung is dripping. Lend me your meat flute and I'll play you a song.
Alright, I gotta butch up a little bit, as much as I can take.
I smell hit.
Yeah, sounds like another hit there, huh?
I love it.
What do you think? Are more hooks in the tackle box? It's all working for you?
Rarely is something better than the original. In this case, I say salute.
It's just one of those, it's so bad that it's almost good.
When he says car, does he mean dick? Is that what I'm missing there?
I think so.
Ronnie, Fezzy, the Ron and Fez Show.